All right, I think I got this set up. I think it's working the right way for once. All right, what's up, y'all? This is my first time officially streaming on the M1 Mac, the M1, what is it, M1 Max MacBook Pro. So I finally got my whole setup set up and everything, and it looks like it's working well. So yeah, here we are streaming on the MacBook Pro, since everyone's always wondering about how it does and everything. But yeah, we'll jump into it in just a moment. I want to make sure that a little bit more people get in here. And again, this is like one of our normal streams, just editing the photos you all submitted. We'll be doing Q&A during all of that. And also, we'll be doing the giveaway for the X100V pretty much at the end of the stream. Now, you don't necessarily have to be in the stream to win, but again, hanging out and being a part of the whole process is nice. There's Jesse in the house. Welcome to the stream. What did I miss? The giveaway announcement? No, so I'm going to be announcing the winners during the stream. Guten Tag from New Jersey. Haven't missed anything. I just started. Literally just started. However, the biggest news outside of the giveaway is I'm pretty sure my wife feels like she's going into labor. So just a heads up, if this stream ends short, that's why. So it's going to be our fourth baby sometime soon. So yeah, just, you know, if I have to all of a sudden go, you know why. But she was like, you know, I don't know how long, you know how the contractions kind of start at first and it's like a longer process before you get to like the very end. So she was like, I don't know how long this could be happening before it like gets real. So she was like, go ahead and just stream and we'll see what happens. So yeah, I might have to dip out, but for now, we're still gonna go as planned. We're gonna go ahead and just stream everything and get everything edited, and yeah. So again, for the giveaway, there was a sign up. It's US only. You had to submit a photo. You had to follow Chasing Stone, me, and Fujifilm on Instagram. So all of that stuff counts. If you didn't do any of the steps, you do get disqualified. We wanted this to be very kind of niche towards the community that follows me and watches my videos and stuff. Fujifilm was really, they like to make sure that people are involved rather than just being like, let me give away something. Hold on, let me fix my camera. I wanted to do auto shutter speed in case the lighting was crazy, but because of that, the shutter speed is crazy. So we may just have to deal with it and see how it goes. San Francisco, SF in the house. It's early, y'all. Y'all just woke up. Yeah, I can never. This is always the most annoying. Natural light is mad annoying. I'm using the new Fujifilm 33 f1.4 for this. I had to stop it down just now because it was a little too much light, but you need a wireless microphone. Yeah, I always step away and then like, I'm sure y'all can barely hear me. I have like a mic right above me. I tried to use Labs before while streaming and it just ends up not working. It just doesn't work well at all. But yeah, let's go ahead and see y'all's photos. Look at all these beautiful submitted photos. Uh-oh, is my setup blocking itself? I was trying to set up OBS. Yeah, it is blocking it. While I was, it's like a new setup on the MacBook Pro, so not everything is set exactly the way I want it to be. Gotta give everybody some space. There we go. There we go. And then we'll just scoot this over here. And we're good to go. Setting up a nice stream is always like the most annoying. Hands down the most annoying. I love it. Yeah, that new 33 is good. I've only used it like once, but so far I've been very happy with it. John tried the XE2 recently and wow, it blew my mind. I might have to catch up with the Fuji Bug. Oh, that's cool. I've never used any of the XEs. You have any tips for faster focusing with the GFX 100S in studio? In studio? No. I've used it at weddings, but I don't know. I mean, the best things you can do for the GFX to get faster focusing is to not have it doing so much. That's at least what I found so far with weddings. The less the camera has to think, the better it's gonna perform. So like if you have continuous eye autofocus on and all this stuff on, it's just gonna be slower because it's, you know, it's medium format and it's a lot for it to think about. I tried the imaging, imagine, I don't know how to say it. Thing is so great. Yeah, the AI stuff is crazy, y'all. I don't think I'm gonna edit photos anymore. Like, it saves so much time, and again, being a father of 4, like, saving my time is more important than sitting here making sure like everything is, and obviously I go back through my photos to make sure they look okay, but I'm not gonna sit here for hours and hours editing. Yeah, I see my photo. Yeah. Illuminates with soft light only to focus in the studio if the studio's dark. Have you tried the new Tamron? I haven't. I actually have not used any third-party lenses at all yet. In studio, I'd have a modeling light and stop down manual focus. Yeah. Don't tell anyone I'm here watching, Dallas. Well, instead of 4-hour presentation at work. You're a father of 4? Yeah, well, the 4th one should be coming. I was telling everyone at the beginning of the stream, my wife actually felt like she was having contractions, so this stream may end up ending early. We'll see. So yeah, the 4th one should be coming maybe today. How many images go through today? It's only 75, actually. It's not that many. Or no, this is saying 69 because there were a couple JPEGs. JPEGs did disqualify folks, so I took that out as well. Just signed up for PicTime because you love it. Awesome, yeah, PicTime is great. Actually, I literally just made an extra like 500 bucks based off of some of the sale automations that they have in there. It's really awesome. What's up, John? Congrats. Got 3 myself and a granddaughter, so you need to catch. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, once my kids get old enough and start having kids, like, I'm gonna have mad grandkids. I don't even know if I'm ready for that. It's too many kids. How to get your presets. So I'm supposed to have a chat bot in here. And that's supposed to work, but it generally doesn't. But yeah, I have them on my website. Y'all, I'm gonna try my best to get the Capture One natural fills out this month. Last I checked, the Fujifilm, the Nikon, and the Canon pretty much looked like they were done. So I might go ahead and release those. I still need to work on the Sony one. Just signed up for Honeybook. Awesome. Oh yeah, there it goes. If you're interested in the preset, there it goes. There's a link for y'all in the chat. Let's go ahead and start editing. Get in here and edit some of these. Have you ever tried newborn photography? I did when I first started, but it's not. It's just not. It's a lot. It's not for me. I get all my wedding tips from you. You've helped me become more confident. Awesome. That's awesome. That's what we need. That's what we need in the wedding industry. Everyone's always worried about people bringing the price down, but honestly, I'm more worried about people hiring photographers who are cheaper but don't know what they're doing. and then having a bad experience, like the couple has a bad experience and ends up blaming like the wedding industry in general. Oh, you know what too? What we need to talk about, because I get emails from people all the time who buy the preset and they're like, oh, I don't like how the preset looks. And I think they expect to be able to just slap the preset on there and their photos are gonna look perfect, but that's not how a real preset works. Presets are for like a color base. And then after that, you do need to edit on your own to get the look you want. So when using the natural fills preset, you apply the preset first and then always deal with white balance. White balance is basically the main part that is gonna change up the actual look of the photo itself. So like that's what you saw me do here on this photo. I applied the preset and then I white balanced to make it feel right for the photo. And this is the result that you're getting from before and after. Do you find big differences between Lightroom and Capture One with Fuji RAW files? I mean, I don't know. I've been half and half on Capture One. It's a great program and it's really good when it comes to like really dialing into photos, but it's such a sensitive and like picky editor. Like I swear you move the sliders even the tiniest bit and it makes the hugest changes. So for me, it's like I'm just trying to edit and edit quick, which is why I stick to Lightroom. But I haven't seen anything that was like life-changing. I'm not really a pixel peeper type of person. I feel like it's a waste of time to sit there and pixel peep. If the photo looks good and you edit it well, like, you know, I don't think there's any point in like digging in all heavily and being like, oh goodness, it has to be perfect. There's a time and place for that, but especially in wedding photography, most of the time, it's not the time for that. Like, you're just wasting your own time doing all that. So, perfect example, right? I applied my preset and it's just like a blue mess. But that's mainly because the photo itself is pretty much super blue. So I'm gonna try to auto white balance and see what it wants, and that's not so bad. And then from there, I'm gonna make adjustments that I want to make, which tend to be turning up magenta. What might happen here is I like the blue, but I don't want so much blue on the couple. So I might end up warming up them. I'm debating if I want to warm up everything or if I want to warm up just the couple. Thanks to you this year, we successfully captured 2 weddings and 2 elopements. Awesome, great job, congrats on that. Most people do not know how to use a preset. You always have to tune the photo with the preset applied to make it reach the point. Exactly, because every photo you take is gonna be different. Every lighting situation that you're in is gonna be different. It's never gonna be the same across the board. I like a little bit of a brighter exposure. Lighting's always all over the place. Is foot placement in walking photos a thing you check while culling? Not really. A lot of those like super extra rules about like where to crop and stuff like that, depending on what I'm shooting and how I'm shooting, I don't really. Does it just select it by itself? Yo, so good. That's what we've needed all this time. And then I'm gonna, what was I gonna do? I was gonna warm them up. So I'm gonna warm them up a bit. I could pull the shadows up too. It looked like he wanted this shot to be a silhouette, but I can also play around with that if I like. I could really pull it up some and you can see the couple more. So the biggest thing when you're doing adjustments like this is remember that the adjustments you make are only on a section, but then when you make adjustments to the whole, it edits everything. So basically, I warmed them up a bit and I raised the shadows a tad, and now I'm gonna warm up the rest of the photo just a little bit because they're already warmer. So if I warm up the photo too much now, they're gonna be even warmer because I've warmed them up separately. Cause see, I can do this. I can come in here, I can just blow that exposure up. What can I do? Where's my graduated? They like changed everything, so I'm a little lost. Here it goes. So we're gonna do this here. And then I'm going to save the sky just a little bit so it's not totally blown out. I don't want to do it too much though and make it look unnatural. I'm gonna pull that back just a bit. Wait, what did you do? How did you do that? That's the new selection tool in Lightroom. It's really good. It auto selects stuff. It's crazy. So, okay, the warmth is good. Remember, I warmed them up separately. So now I'm warming up everything else because I want it to still be blue. And so see, this is why you shoot raw, y'all. Because look at the before and after. So again, the preset gives me the color base, but the look was me editing. And that's the point with presets, is you have to know how to edit still. A preset's not gonna do this to a photo. It won't. It's not gonna do that. You have to do it yourself. Like, look at that drastic difference we can get out of that photo. And so if I wanted to, I could keep it a silhouette shot because it's underexposed, and also the ISO is low. It's at 80. So that's, for Fuji, that's like the low setting. That's below as low as it can go. That's also why I can change it so much, because he didn't blow anything out and most everything is saved in here. So I have so much room to edit and not have the photo just fall apart. There's a sky option now too. Yeah, I didn't want to do the sky option for this one because it was gonna cut it off here probably, and it would be like blatantly obvious, but they put the same. Yeah, Photoshop also has the same option now where you can just select the subject. Could you give a little critique of the photos as well? What would you have done differently? Yeah, I could do that. You can also do select subject and then invert selection to select everything else. Ooh, yeah, Lightroom's on another level now. Yes, I would also like you to put an input to the pics. Yeah, cool. Let me go back then. But yeah, this is why you shoot raw. Look at that. Look at that drastic difference from before and after. That's why you shoot raw. So if you are not a photographer who shoots raw yet, and you're wondering why everyone says to shoot raw, this is why. Because when you know how to edit, you can change the photo however you want to. I like the sky in the raw. If you retrieve it, it will be nice. I feel like, so with everything being super bright, if I darken the sky itself, so let's see, let's make another selection and we'll just select the sky. And like I said, it's probably gonna cut it right at the horizon there, yep. But what's gonna happen is like, it's just gonna be like really drastic. I mean, that orange in it is nice and I can warm up the sky alone. But I don't know, that just, it's too much for me. I kind of like it here with that natural light look. And that's always the huge debate. Everyone's like natural light versus flash. With flash photography, you get to save the sky. With natural light, you get blown out sky. Okay, I'll do small critiques. They're just gonna be quick little critiques, nothing crazy. Again, my wife may be having a baby at any moment, so I don't want to take too much time. So this first photo, I mean, it's pretty good overall. I think depending on how many shots were taken during this time, because obviously this is like a walking shot, I may have tried to see if there was a better expression throughout the shots. And that's why too, as a wedding photographer, you tend to overshoot, mainly because of expressions, because this expression between them right now is like whatever. You know, it's nothing that makes the photo like, wow, come on, Lightroom. There you go. But you know, like, he's just kind of like, okay, we're getting married and we have our dogs. Like, he doesn't care, it seems like. That's my only biggest gripe for this photo. Everything else looks fine. This photo, I really love that he made them get in the water, especially your boy got his pants on still and he's just in the water. The background's great and I love the lighting, especially, again, the way I was able to pull this photo up. This was a great lighting choice. Shooting this cool was questionable. It may have been auto white balance because I know the Fuji, this is an X-T3, which is the main camera I use, so I'm very familiar with it. It tends to want to blue with its white balance, so I probably would have shot in Kelvin. But other than this, I love the shot. Great expressions. Also, a part of the giveaway too was to make a shot that was kind of like my 10 favorite shots, which again, those aren't like my poses. It was more so to just get some interactivity between the videos I make and stuff. So this is basically a chest to chest. I like the hand hold here and the hand by the face. And who knows, they may have just been like messing around, but it's cute. It brings some more intimacy into this. This is your general looking at the camera shot. I think the only thing I can say here as far as a critique is just, you may have tried to even out the space a little bit so you could have gotten a little bit more of the dress. Half the time, if you're gonna shoot the whole body, like, you may as well try to get a little bit more of the dress in there. Y'all drop your Insta as your pic goes by. Oh, cool, do it. Do it. No links though, just do the @ because I think my bot's gonna block all your links. Any tips on shooting weddings in the rain, snow, cold, with a whole wedding party? So as far as cold, you have to be very, very, very cognitive of keeping them out of the cold as much as possible. The worst case scenario is if the couple themselves is like, I don't want to take photos outside. That's the worst case scenario. But generally it's just gonna be trying to keep them out of the cold as much as possible. So like, take your photos outside still, but you know, be quick about it. Don't be like, okay, we're gonna take photos and then, you know, take forever taking photos. The wedding planner, oh yeah. Yep, I know that. I was just talking about that. Some planners are really good and they're like, they're not rushing you, but they're like, hey, we only have a couple more minutes. So see, look, here's our selection tool. We click select subject and it just auto does it. And boom, there it is. And then from there, I can make my adjustments to just them. People hit me up on Instagram. Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna raise the shadows on them a little bit. And then I can drop the shadows in the whole picture. Overall though, it's a pretty good photo. Can we still submit or is it too late? It's too late, yeah. The giveaway was before the stream, so we have everything dialed in and ready. But yeah, classic shot. One thing I personally like to do is I like to have the groom put his hand in his pocket. I'm not a fan of this just like random hanging hand. I've never been. But again, that's all personal choice. I don't think it really makes a difference. I feel like some people think that putting the hand in the pocket makes someone feel like they're uninterested. For me, it's like, just get rid of the hand. Half the time, everyone's sitting there asking you what to do with the hand anyway. So it's like, for the guys all day, I'm like, yo, put it in your pocket. That's it. Put it in your pocket. Forget about it. Put it in your pocket. And tell everybody early. I always give everyone rules. So for like the groomsman and the groom, I'm like, here are the rules for the day. If you have 2 arms up when you're doing group shots, unbutton your jacket because it's going to start pulling. If you're standing, let's do hands in pockets. If your hand is hanging, put it in your pocket. And then I do that early on so that then they don't ask me, what do I do with my hands? Because they know. And it's cool because they'll remember throughout the day. They're like, oh yeah. And they'll put it in their pocket. Like, you'll see them forget sometimes and then they'll do it by themselves. It's really cool. Here we go, a nice shot. This is like a dancing shot. Good old Sony. Them Sony cameras be sharp. I had a second shoot for me recently with Sony, and everything was just so like, it's almost too sharp. You know, like when sharpness looks unnatural, like that's where it be sometimes. Thank you. I was feeling defeated. I wanted more time. Yo, I hate that feeling. And see, I'm planning on doing a course, and I want to talk about that type of stuff because I cannot tell y'all, especially if you're like newer to wedding photography, nearly every wedding I come back home from, unless it was a bomb wedding, there's like definite moments of the day where I'm like, or like I could have done that, or I should have made this decision, or like I had no time, so I did what I could. Near every wedding. And that's honestly just kind of a part of being a wedding photographer, unfortunately. So I'm trying to, there's something weird going on here with the warmth. Like I want to warm them up, but the background I like kind of where it's at. They feel like they're white balanced a little different than the background, and I don't know why that is. So let's go ahead and do an adjustment to them. This subject select is life-changing, like for real. All right, so there they are. I guess I want to warn, no. I don't know what it is that feels off to me. Is it magenta? Magenta, man. The oranges are like, do they use off-camera flash? It doesn't seem like it. I mean, this is better there. It's just she's looking too orange, but it's hard. Yeah, like the magenta is too much. Auto mask subject select is yeah, it's so good. PC versus Mac, what's best? I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. I have both. I like both. I was recently using a PC for like the last 3 years, and I felt really good about it. I don't know which one is better. I like the Mac operating system. No off-camera flash. Yeah, this doesn't look like off-camera flash. Does color space matter in Lightroom? It does. We're talking about like sRGB versus RGB. It's like too much magenta, but I want to add magenta to him, if anything. And see, I don't like having to do this. Can I just select one subject? Oh yeah, you can still brush. She has too much orange magenta going on. And again, that's just a skin tone difference happening. I think try going to the color calibration panel and switch the camera profiles. I don't know, that sounds like it's too much because it's still going to change the whole photo. I'm more necessarily talking about the difference between his skin tone and her skin tone. So the camera profile is not really gonna, that's just gonna, the issue will still be there, just in a different place. So you see how like I'm pulling a magenta back on her. Yeah, okay. I couldn't tell if it was happening because I was pulling it way back, but that's my exact point. Like, even with me pulling it way back here, it doesn't feel off. Cause yeah, he has like a almost green tone to him and she doesn't. So I'm just trying to get it to match a little bit. I could deal with this too, but I hate making adjustments there. Cause this is where, again, this is the area I don't try to get to when it comes to wedding photography. When you start nitpicking this hard, you waste so much time on a single photo. She went to a cheap tanning spot. Maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's good for that. This is a nice dancing photo. Got the hand in the pocket, gets rid of the awkward hand. For this shot though, I don't know if hand in pocket works. Just because there's so much motion, it makes it almost kind of weird. Christina Cooper. What camera is this? XT3. Can I have your preset? You can go get it on the website. If that works, the link will pop up in a moment. The biggest critique on this one, again, is just spacing. And I do this myself all the time. But like, if I wanted to straighten this photo, which I'm always a heckler for that stuff, then you're like starting to catch the edge of the dress. But I do this all the time sometimes too. I look back at my photos and I'm like, what was I doing? Got the thing all tilted weird because you were trying to get the whole scene, but you didn't realize that you had everything tilted all weird. So that happens a lot. Also, my other critique here, and I'm assuming we'll see when we edit, but when you have like brown skin, especially darker skin, underexposing like this is like not, it's not. I would have raised my ISO and opened that f-stop up some if you could have, because it does look like it's one of those zoom lenses. But yeah, I wouldn't have stopped down. I would have shot it wide open. I had a family shoot recently where one member was extremely fair-skinned and it took so long to edit. Yeah. Hey, Anson in the house. But yeah, let's see how this photo holds up. Let's see how it does. But yeah, you see how we're basically losing the side of his face there? Like, it's there, but you can barely see it. And if I try and raise the shadows too much, it's just gonna be like total slop. So that's my biggest tip always. Come on, Lightroom. Lightroom. It's just watch out for underexposing with brown skin. Always. Oop, hold on. Okay, we're good. She's not having a baby yet. For all y'all joining in, I was talking about earlier, my wife is pretty much like, she thinks she's going into labor. So if you see me just disappear and the stream ends, that's why. It's just, I'm on like high alert right now. Yeah, so there's a lot of orange going on right now, and that's also with brown skin hard to deal with. So when you have like brick in brown skin and orange, and it's hard. But that's why I came down here to HSL and turned down the saturation on the orange just a little bit so that they're not looking too orange. I might pull back the temperature just a tad. Here's our before and after. So it's not horrible. Again, it wasn't underexposed too much, but I try my best to not underexpose with brown skin, especially darker skin, because you're gonna lose all the detail real quick. Other than that, it's a great shot. I think, and see, people do, if he would have been looking at her, it would have made the shot better too. But again, sometimes people are weird in front of the camera and they keep looking at you and you're like, no, do what you're doing. It was like, oh, his wife, she came into the room. I was like, oh God, she just needed to grab something real quick. Is this a new preset? Nope, same old natural fills preset. I don't even know if I'll ever make a new one, honestly, y'all. I'm probably just gonna keep the same, because again, I believe in this preset. It's my preset, I use it, so you know, it's just how I'm gonna do things. Here goes a walking shot on some good old Canon. I wonder if I upright auto that. Yeah, pull up that bottom a bit. This is also for brown skin. This is heavily underexposed. I generally say not to underexpose so heavily with brown skin, but the bokeh on this lens looks crazy. Let's see what auto wants to do. That works. What? Oh, that's why. It's camera shake. What happened? What? So generally, again, I'm not like all about settings and stuff, which is why I don't show mine, just because I don't think you can learn from the settings unless you understand what's happening. But so this would be a great example of, let's figure out what was happening now from the settings. Because so we have this shot and it looked pretty dark. So I don't know if it was night. I don't know what. It looks like it was daytime, so I don't understand why it's so dark. But this person here is shooting at ISO 1600, which is super high, and down at 1/50th of a second for the shutter speed. So it must have been dark, but it looks like it was daytime, or at least dusk. I'm surprised that it had to be 1600 ISO. Like really. But that's what happened to the photo. Like, I could immediately see it. There's camera shake at 1/50th, so that's why this all looks kind of blurry and muddy like that. To help with that, I usually tell my couples be in this moment with each other. Exactly. Looks like the sun was on the other side of the building, but there's no, even if the sun was out and it was on the other side of the building, it shouldn't have been that dark to be at 1600 ISO. Like, being on an ND filter, that would make sense. But as a photographer, like, using an ND filter is rare. But yeah, an ND filter is the only way this makes sense. I never let myself go lower than 225. I'll shoot down at 150, but it's mainly for like details. This is the Sigma Art, so yeah, it stopped down to 2.8, which is fine. But yeah, this had to, that's the only answer, y'all. There had to be an ND filter on this or something. Cause to be at 1600 ISO during the day at 1/50th of a second and have it be as dark as that had to be an ND filter. There's no other option. But yeah, as a photographer, that's why I just say, like, there's no point in having an ND filter unless, yeah, like Matthew's saying, hybrid wedding photography. So they have the ND filter because they're doing video. How much do you use the histogram? Not at all. I'm the worst. I don't even know why I have it open, honestly. But yeah, this is a great shot. It's just camera shake everywhere. So because of that, like on a pixel peeping aspect, it's not the greatest. So like for me, I would black and white this. Cause that kind of, I like my black and whites to be kind of like moody and filmy. So since it's already kind of soft, it's going to add to that grainy, filmy kind of look anyway. And that's one of the aspects in my photos that determine if it's going to be black and white or not, is how clean was the shot. If the shot wasn't that clean, but it was a good shot, it probably gets black and whited. Uh-oh. Okay. So for instance, let's go ahead and export this. Also, hey, Christina, we just did your photo a second ago. I'm critiquing the photos as I go as well. So if I export this, and let's see if the M1 Max can handle this. Can handle streaming and exporting at the same time. Let's make a new folder. Cool. So I'm gonna dump it in there. I'm gonna do full res, so no resize to fit, 300 resolution, sharpen for screen, and then it's gonna open in exposure. If y'all don't know already, I do my sharpening and grain in exposure rather than in Lightroom, which is why on the website you see that I sell both the Natural Fields preset itself and the Natural Fields sharpening and grain, but that's for exposure. It looks like, how are you doing, M1? Are you good? It looks like it's good. Yeah, it streamed and exported at the same time. The export was kind of slow though, but. So here is exposure. Let's resize it. So here's the photo after just screen sharpening was added from Lightroom. And yeah, it's a little soft, but that's fine. And then I have my black and white grain and sharpening. So I add that on there, which y'all see it adds a little kick of contrast. And it adds a bunch of grain to give it like a film-esque feel. So here's the before. Uh-oh. Never mind, it's like freaking out. That's the thing with the M1 Max MacBook Pro is that like some of these programs like exposure right here, when they're not made for it, they don't work the best. Like they struggle a little bit. They're fine. Oh, there's an update available. But yeah, they're fine. They just kind of struggle. It's beautifully composed. Yeah, it's a great shot. The settings were just kind of all over the place. If it was a hybrid shooter, they would have been at 1/50th and 24 frames a second, which makes sense, which is why they switched. Exactly. Hey John, where can I submit photos for future episodes? Generally, I will schedule episodes out, and on the link for the episode, you can submit there. There'll be a link in the description. Here goes someone with the wide shot Wednesday. Great shot. So when I pull off a wide shot Wednesday, the only thing here that would be quote unquote wrong is that generally you want them to hold hands on the same side. So she should have been holding him with this other hand, and then she could have put the flower here. Then you wouldn't have her like reaching over her own body. Other than that though, great shot. I love the location. You see I cropped it in just a bit. If anything, I kind of like to have the sky in there, but crop it in like that. You see how I don't know, this side where it ends kind of kills the mood of the wide shot Wednesday. Whereas when you have that cropped in, it looks like this building goes on forever almost. That's half of the thing of the wide shot Wednesday. There was a photo I took a long time ago, and I don't know if I have it anywhere. I took it on my iPhone. It was dope. It was like street photography, but it was somewhere in New York. It was like in Manhattan, but it was right where the bridges cross, like the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge. On the Manhattan side, where you have like whatever highway that is, but you're like under the highway. So I took this shot, and it almost looks like a film because the bridge and the floor kind of cut off the shot in the middle, and there was someone walking. And that's where the inspiration for the wide shot Wednesday came from for me. Is just having this like really wide shot where you see how this almost looks like the letterboxing for movies. So have the top and the bottom letterbox the frame itself, and then have the couple centered in there. I wish I could find the shot. It was so good. You would think it'd be saved in my photos somewhere on my phone, but like I'm pretty sure it's like lost in time, which is always the saddest. Let's see. We can do years. That was probably like, oh my goodness, so long ago. So long ago. I'm not about to flip through all my photos, but it was hands down one of my favorite shots. One of my favorite shots ever. I think someone on their Twitch channel had a little giveaway or like a contest, and I won it with that photo. It'd be dope if I still had it, but again, I'm not gonna do that to y'all and sit here going through every photo that I have. But yeah, I used to do a lot of street photography with my phone. It was fun. On one of your hard drives. You found it? Have I showed y'all before? I feel like I have it. Going through these other photos, I'm like, I swear I have it. Actually, I forgot how much I used to actually take photos on my iPhone. Like, I legit used to be a straight up iPhone photographer. Oh wait, it's not this far forward, is it? Now, there was one photo that I did that was street photography with the pillars. And I definitely lost that photo. I think that was the one I showed y'all. This other one was like an iPhone photo. But yeah, I don't know where it is. Somewhere deep in the archives of my life. The archives of my life. Wow, so much, so many photos. Okay, let me stop wasting time. Let me stop wasting time. I don't think it was this far forward. My sightseer bag is out for delivery. Yeah. We haven't even edited this yet. What camera is this? This looks good. Okay, so they're in shadow. So I want to raise the shadows, and then I'm gonna drop the exposure a bit. White balance is looking good to me. I don't really want to touch too much. Yeah, no, this shot. That's what I really love, when like everything just looks good and you don't even have to do anything to it. Yeah, no, great shot. I love symmetrical long. So this was a great choice for a location for a wide shot Wednesday. Great job. Great job. Here's a kissing shot. My only critique here is this hand. And again, like I said, I'm not the biggest one to sit there and critique like where you crop stuff, but this just fully feels out of place. They may as well have been holding each other. Like, there was no point in having the hand on the pole. And again, when it comes to wedding photography, it could have just been there. Like, that's what happens sometimes. It's like people are just in the middle of doing something and something happens, so you take the shot. So just remember that. Any of my critiques are never like, I'm not the type to be like, it has to be perfect. I'm like the furthest thing from that type of photographer. For me, everything is all situational and overall how the shot looks. So again, I love the emotion between them. I love her hand on his head. It's just like, why is your arm way over there? Y'all should be like embracing each other. So that's the only real critique. Yo, the lighting, I think the lighting's good. Yo, I'm about to open this. About to open this thing wide up. Would someone recommend Affinity Photo? I've never used it, so I don't know much about it personally. Why using f2.5, not 1.8 for more shallow bokeh? Probably to make sure the photo's sharp. Because again, at the end of the day, especially when you've been shooting for a while, like, you start learning that bokeh is not, it's whatever. You know, like, personally, and it's no offense to anyone because I was like this myself, caring so much about the background being blurry and totally blown out is a very starter photographer type of thing. You start learning, and especially in wedding photographer, that a sharp photo is more important than the background being fully blown out and stuff. Which is why, again, people ask me all the time on Fujifilm, they're like, why are you shooting with the f2 lenses? Because they get enough bokeh and they look great, and because they're f2, I can just shoot wide open and everything's nice and sharp and it's good. Like, I don't really need to stop down too hard. Whereas this is like a cognitive choice. I have the light, which is why they're at ISO 100. They definitely have the light because the shutter's at like 800, so it was bright. And they're like, let me stop down some to make sure that my shots are nice and sharp. You know, like, you learn. And also too, the way with background blur and bokeh, a lot of it is how close you are to the subject. So if you have a long lens and you're close to the subject, it's gonna blow out the back even more, even if you are stopped down. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, seasoned wedding photographers will start choosing sharper photos over blown out backgrounds. If your composition and scene is on point, you don't need to blow out everything. That's true too. Because yeah, that's one of my pet peeves about listening to some people talk about wedding photography. They're always so concerned about like, oh, blow the background out and shoot with a 70 to 200 so you can blow the background out. How about you regulate your backgrounds? You know, how about you pick a place that's nice? How about you, if you know you're in a room that's dirty, tell people to clean it up so you don't have to have random stuff in the background that you're concerned about blowing out. Like that's what it is for me. I'm just regulate it a little bit. It's not that hard. Hey John, is the M1 Mac Mini still good for photo editing? Yeah. Video editing, very low level video editing, but because yeah, the M1 Mac Mini right now is kind of like my family computer, so I have them using it. I use it a little bit, but yeah, it was great. Exactly. You don't get the option to redo many of your photos on a wedding day. You need to make sure people are in focus. Bokeh is always second. Exactly. And also too, like, you'll get bokeh, like, you'll get it. It'll be fine, you know. I had to learn this the hard way. We used to shoot everything wide open and would miss focus because of the shot. Exactly. That's whenever I shoot with the GFX, I have to remember that because I got so used to the XT series and being able to shoot everything just like wide open all the time. And so, you know, I'm like rocking the 81.7. Oh, this is Jesse's photo. Nice. I love how wide this is. But yeah, I got so used to shooting wide open all the time that I would be rocking the 81.7 and just be like, oh dang, I'm missing half the shots. And it's like, yeah, because you're on a medium format camera shooting at 1.7. Like, stop down, bro. So I'm cooling this photo down. The warmness was a little too much for me. As y'all know, I like a nice cool edit. I like my greens to sit in that kind of cool green. But what happened now is the couple is a little bit too cool. So let's subject select. Let's see how good this thing is. If it can pick out the subject in this small. Uh-oh. Wow, y'all. So good. That's crazy. Not having to paint in stuff is crazy. So yeah, now I'm gonna warm them up. Not too much. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna warm them up a bit, pull the shadows up on them a tad. And then I'm gonna warm up the whole scene a little. Because again, I don't want the scene to be too warm, but I do want them to be warmer. Probably crop in on this just a tad. So this is the... Oops. This is the spoon pose with the bear hug over the top. And those are usually cute because even when you do this pose, you usually don't have to tell the person in front to hold the hands. That's like a natural thing to do when someone has their arms like over you. You want to embrace them too, so they tend to bring their arms up. They're going to be automating us out of a job. I mean, you should see that Imagine AI. That thing is crazy. Like, I sent it like 700 photos in 5 minutes. It was like, complete, your photos are edited. And I was like, yo. This feels good to me. I like it. There's our before and after. Yeah, you see those greens? That's my greens. Them nice and cool, subdued, and you know, desaturated. Also, this is something I need to start doing more often. My second photographer, who was in the last behind the scenes video, she tends to do this a lot too. Like, she'll shoot with the 23 vertically and like super far back. For some reason, I tend not to do it. But whenever I see shots like this, I just love how much environment is included in the shot when you're shooting with like a 23. It's so good. Oh wait, are these doubles? I didn't even realize that. Let's delete this one. Delete from disk. Can't wait for that C1 preset. Yeah, I need to go ahead and just release it. I'm like being extra about it being perfect, but honestly, like it's only gonna be as good as it's gonna be. And it's good. Like, I feel like I can release it. Do you do same day edit photo on your wedding shoots? Oh no, that's too much. So this was golden hour sunset. Now, if I auto white balance, it's gonna make everything super blue. Oh no, it did it. Wow. Great job, Lightroom. But yeah, for this shot, and already white balance is gonna be the thing. That's why, honestly, I'm half and half on golden hour. Everyone's always like, oh yeah, golden hour. I don't know, man. Sometimes things look too orange. I'm just not a fan of everything being too orange. I'm very, very picky about that stuff. How are you? Hello, hello. When are you getting sponsored by Narbox? So I was never actually sponsored by them, but I did work with them. My review video, I guess that was sponsored. I mean, they provided the product. And I had an affiliate program, but they stopped doing it. So I'm actually concerned with the state of Narbox. I hope they're doing well. Maybe they just stopped the affiliate program because they just weren't trying to do it no more. I don't know. To me, I was curious about what's happening because especially with the markets right now and everything being like backed up and stuff, I was like, I don't know. Is it too late to send you a copy? Yes, we're not taking any submissions during the stream. What am I trying to do? So I cooled them down so I could warm it all up and not have it feel too weird. But yeah, that lighting on this is my main issue. Honestly, this is another one of those black and white. Great shot though, chest to chest. Golden hour for me is more about light direction than it is color. Yeah, the shadows and stuff like that. Cause yeah, white balance is always, ugh. Yep, it's happening, y'all. Sorry, we're black and whiting it. We're taking the easy route, y'all. The photographer cop-out route. We did it, it happened. My wife has been wanting to get one for our business, holy smokes, but also want to protect our couples. Yeah, the NART, like, I can't tell you all enough because a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, it's so expensive. It's really cool. It's really worth it. Not only does it does it back up your stuff, but you can set up like folders. It checks your files too to make sure that it's actually backing it up correctly. So you're not going to get like corrupted files, and you can make it truncate all the photos. So what I have it set to right now is that when I back up my second photographer's photos and my own, instead of, you know how every camera has some kind of folder that all the photos are in, so there's like a folder hierarchy of at least 1 or 2 folders. So the Narbox gets rid of all that, just pulls in the files only, and then I can tell it to back up into a specific folder that I call wedding photography, and it backs it up there by date. So now when I go onto my Narbox to try and see what I have backed up, it's just all separated by date, and then all of the photos from me and my second and everything are just in one folder. It's nice. Great shot, let's keep going. Here goes another one of those situations where like the horizon was tilt for whatever reason. Sometimes when you're looking through the viewfinder, it happens. I do it all the time. So yeah, because of that, we're gonna lose. So I'm using these pillars in the back to straighten it. Oh, here, let me show y'all the whole process. We're gonna do the whole process on this photo. Here goes another weird settings thing. I have to stop myself from delivering full albums in black and white sometimes. Black and white is good. I love shooting in black and white. Speaking of, do you sync with your second the time of the day. I try to remember to, but sometimes I forget, and it's the worst. I hate when I don't sync. Oh, it's the worst. Do you shoot on Kelvin or auto? I'm generally on auto white balance. However, if the scene ends up looking too cool or too warm in camera, then I'll switch to Kelvin. So with this shot, if I would have cropped it, we would have lost like from all the way up here. So I'm gonna fix it in Photoshop. The shot was just so like tilted, and I hate a tilted shot. Dutch tilt is not my friend. This is a nice chest to chest. It looks like a maternity shot. Hand here is clearly giving the maternity vibes. So if you didn't know it was before, this helps out. And that's why usually when I'm posing couples, I say to stay away from the stomach, because the moment you do that, you're like, is it maternity? Which it looks like this is. Now the settings here, I don't understand what happened with the settings. This is another thing where it was during the day. We're at f5, which I can see stopping down to make sure it was sharp, but this is a f3.5 lens. Oh, you know what? It's probably because of the zoom. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, this ISO needs to come down. This shutter speed needs to come down. Because yeah, you can see the photos just all muddy. Mainly because of the camera. I don't know what camera this is. We can, let's see. Yeah, an 80D. So it's just an older camera. So its ISO is not going to perform the same. But again, it's a shot that can be saved. It's not horrible. It looks good. The lighting overall is decent in it. Lightroom is hating. Okay, I was going crazy because I mistakenly set my wife's X-T3 to 12 hours ahead of my, oh God. It's the worst. Yeah, I forget to sync all the time. It's like the first thing I do on a wedding day is forget to sync. Yeah, that grain is pretty bad actually. It's pretty bad. But yeah, see, I'm getting beach balls now streaming and editing in Lightroom. And it's again because Lightroom's not optimized for the M1 as best as it probably could be. Yeah, this is unfortunate. This is a great shot, but that 6400 ISO is what kills it. And again, if you have a couple, uh-oh, black and white time. I mean, it's fine, it's doable. But yeah, that shutter speed could have came way down to like 1/200. And which could have saved the ISO at least to like 1000. There's no way it was that dark. And I get you at f5 probably because the shutter or the zoom. So zooming up, this is one of those. I feel like you could have been lower though, but yeah, ISO when it comes to exposure triangle and understanding the exposure triangle, the biggest thing I try and teach is I like to teach it in a practicality sense. A lot of people try to teach it on a math side, and I'm just not a math person. So for me, it's practicality. So for me, when I'm raising my ISO, the main thing I'm thinking about is how much grain am I adding? So the only time I'm raising my ISO is when I need the light, and I'm trying to be, you know, like I regulate it. Now, I'm not one of those people who are like, always shoot at ISO 100 for the best image quality. I can't. That's just being too extra. I'll raise my ISO quick. However, you know, I'm regulating it. Some people just be cranking their ISO up because they're like, I need more light, or they don't understand it. Too much ISO will equal too much grain. So you always should be trying to figure out what you can do on top of the ISO. So again, with 640 of shutter speed, you could have come way down and still had a sharp photo. Love that background. Yeah, it's a beautiful shot. The location is great. Ugh. Oh, God. Yeah, that green hurts. I'm usually not even that picky about that stuff, but it's just like, it's bad. I had a second a couple weeks ago that gave me reception photos all shot at 250. Why? How much you put on noise reduction on high ISO? I don't know. The Lightroom noise reduction is not really the greatest. Okay, so a photo like this, again, like I was saying earlier, I straightened it and I lost a lot of the photo. So we're gonna right click it and edit it in Photoshop. Would you recommend a low level speed light for this spot? No, because again, based on the settings and they're outside, it looks like it's light enough. The settings shouldn't have been set like that. Like there was no reason for it to be set like that. So that might be a case again of, and this is why you shoot in manual, that could have been the camera deciding that it was best depending on what setting it was in, or it could have been, you know, just not fully understanding the attributes of each of the settings. I tend to use the lower ISO to bring back the photos and post later. My Sony files let me. Yeah, and that's another part of it too. It's like knowing your camera. You gotta really know your camera. Like I know personally, I don't really like to go over 2000 ISO on my Fuji. And that's just what it is. Doesn't mean the camera's not capable, and it doesn't mean it can't shoot at a higher ISO and get, you know, good files, but I just don't want to shoot it. Are you doing it, Photoshop? You doing the thing? Looks like you're just chilling to me. Photoshop. You good? Yeah, the M1 is kind of struggling trying to stream and do all this stuff at the same time. Is it doing it? Are you doing it? Should I try again? Oh no. Could not be edited because Adobe Photo could not be launched, but it's right here. It's launched. But it's launched. It's right there. Lightroom, are you for real? Oh, I see, preparing for file for editing. Yeah, it's having a hard time streaming, and I wonder if I have the settings in OBS wrong. Hi from Malaysia, love your work so much. Your preset fits my style. Awesome, thank you so much. Okay, yeah, that's what was happening. It was Lightroom. Lightroom having issues. Well, we might have to skip it. I was gonna show y'all the whole process I usually do if I have to save a photo like that, but oh, there it goes. What camera do you use to live stream? This is my X-T3 with the new 33 1.4 on it. I can't wait for C1 preset, but crossing fingers for Fuji. Yeah, the Fuji one is gonna be the first one to come out. We got the Philippines in the house. Hello, welcome to the stream. All right, finally it did it. So if y'all don't use Photoshop or know, the content aware fill is ridiculous. This is the only time I use Photoshop. iOS or Windows? Well, not iOS, but yeah, this is Mac. I'm currently on Mac OS, but I use both systems. The M1 Max MacBook Pro though is beastie. I think I'm gonna switch over. Is Lightroom telling me it's not? Yo, what's this? Oh, it couldn't be edited because Photoshop's not launched. Bro, I'm in Photoshop editing the photo right now. Okay. Brazil in the house, welcome to the stream. Oh, we got Russia, hello, hello. Dubai in the house, welcome. Do you usually fix up skin in your Photoshop? I peep that portrait from your video with fill in there. I usually don't. If I do touch up anything, I'm doing it in Lightroom. Look at how good that was. It's a little noticeable here. But again, like, for the most part, no one's looking at that, you know? Again, that's the whole pixel peep. Like, no one's gonna do that. Your couple's not gonna pixel peep. Unless it's super obvious, it's fine. Any quick thoughts on the 33? It seemed like it was focusing really fast. The bokeh looks generally pretty good. It's light. Yeah, the focusing felt super fast, but I've only used it once, so I don't feel like I have enough information to say much about it. I need to use it more. How did you straighten? I straightened it in Lightroom. And then what I'm doing now is in Photoshop is I'm filling in all the spots that were like left over. I also, when I straightened it, I just did it by hand. I used this little building in the back to kind of figure out where the lineup was of it being straight there. And so I fixed it with Photoshop. And yeah, unless you're crazy, like right here is the only place that's kind of noticeable, and you're probably not going to see that. How did you? I did cut off the photo, but I fixed it in Photoshop with content aware fill. So this is what it looked like. So you see all that white is where it was cut off. But is it still trying? Lightroom, what are you doing? Look, it just opened it again. But so this will answer your question. So I straightened it, and all this white was what was left over. And so it comes to Photoshop like this, and I use the content aware fill to fill in the space and to get this. And then I just hit save, and it should hopefully go back to Lightroom. But with Lightroom freaking out saying that Photoshop wasn't open, I don't know what's gonna happen now. Favorite lenses to use for weddings? It's generally the ones I'm using. The 33 might be the new one in there, but 23 f2, 35 f2, the 50 f1, and the 16. Well, you know what? No, I won't say that. The 16 2.8 is good, but I like the 16 1.4 better, and I need to go ahead and just buy one. Okay, we're quitting out of Photoshop, and our photo saved too many times. Yeah, so let's delete this one. And so here's the final version. Again, unfortunately, that grain kills the photo. Even black and whiting it won't really save the photo. It's a little too muddy overall. However, it's a gorgeous shot, but yeah, that ISO is way too high. And I'm not sure why that happens, because it looks like it was during the day. That's why, again, y'all, settings are important. Seeing my settings isn't really super helpful, but you know, understanding why you're doing something is a big deal. Okay, I'm gonna need to speed up a little bit because we're like an hour in. My wife could be going into labor and I'm like over here chilling. Here's a nice silhouette shot. I'm gonna bring these shadows down to save the silhouette, bring the exposure up some. Is this straight? No, okay. I feel like I want it, yeah, like this. Do you ever feel the 50 f1 is too tight for wedding situations? No. But again, I'm only using it for long shots. Like there's very specific shots that I'm using it for. When you're talking about like getting ready, where you're in like a hotel room or something, the 50 never comes out, ever. Great shot. This is the chest to chest. Again with the pole holding. Just make them hold each other. This pole, like, there's no point in having the pole there. Here's a nice looking at the camera shot. Nice hand placement. Overall, pretty good. It is a really nice shot. I think that's mostly camera limitations there. Yeah, that's what, an 80D is pretty old. But still, I think bringing the shutter down and the ISO down some could have made it a cleaner shot overall. Bring this orange down just a tad. Yeah, nice direct looking at the camera shot. I would have maybe come back a little bit. It's a little tight. We see a little bit more space, like elbows right at the edge. When you put the pictures on screen in your full vlog type videos, is the f-stop you put at the bottom what you use? No, that f-stop at the bottom is just the definition of the lens, so that you know exactly which lens I'm using. That's mainly, especially for all my Fujifilm people. So yeah, it's just like the name of the lens. It's like, okay, I'm using the 50 f1. I may or may not have shot it at f1. I don't usually share my settings. Again, my pet peeve with sharing settings is sharing settings doesn't teach you anything unless you understand what the settings are. I hate it. I hate it so much. What were your settings? What were your settings? What were your settings? Why? Because instead of trying to understand what the settings are and why they are, they just think you can set your camera a certain way and that gets the shot. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. Here's a great wide shot Wednesday. Also, we got some sensor dust or something here because they're at f11. Which my cameras are like that too. I got sensor dust all over the place. But here's a great example, right? This is an example of when you understand what's happening. So one of the biggest things, and I used to do this personally, is photographers be forgetting because they're like, oh, you shoot wider open so you can get blurry backgrounds. But if you're shooting this wide, there's no point. You're not gonna have a blurry background. On a 35 mil, that far away from your couple, there is no blurry background. So you may as well stop down and get the whole thing in focus. And that was one of those, like, over time, it took me like 2 to 3 years to realize that, like, getting closer to your subject is half of what brings the blurry background. So there's literally no point to being wide open when you're so far away. Like, go ahead and just stop it down. It'll be better for the shot. Yeah, this is a gorgeous shot. Look how sharp everything is too. Look at the clouds. So good. F11. I love this composition with them way off in the corner. Yeah. Wide shot Wednesday for the win. This is great. Also too, they're like, within the composition, they're open enough that your eye is drawn here because it just stands out, the color difference between like the cloud and stuff. But yeah, that's something big to learn early on, is if you're shooting wide, just stop down. A sharper photo is more beneficial than a blurry background. Your couples will appreciate a sharper photo, and they're not gonna, again, no one's gonna sit there and nitpick your photos, but if a photo is out of focus too heavily because you were trying to shoot wide open, a couple will see that and be like, why is it blurry? Versus just having a tack sharp photo. So again, the blurry black background, the blurry background, your couple's not gonna care about. They're not. Like, they're just gonna be like, okay, whatever. That's just how photos look, I guess. Nice walking shot. This is what I was talking about earlier compared to that first one. You see how the emotions here are a little bit better? They're like looking at each other and smiling. It does feel a little forced, but some couples are like that. It's hard to get them to like naturally just walk together and smile. And the biggest thing is how you kind of direct them into it. Instead of trying to be too heavily on like, okay, now look at each other. You have to direct it in a certain kind of way to get it a little bit more natural. So they're backlit, so we're gonna pull them shadows up. And then I'm just gonna brighten it up. It's too much magenta for once. Pull these oranges back a tad and then warm it up. Magenta is also still too heavy. That's good there. Hi from Germany. Apart from your great editing and camera settings, are you taking care of invoices, bills, taxes by yourself or outsourcing? I'm doing it by myself. Right now I use HoneyBook, and that carries the majority of what I do. Random question, what lens are you using for streaming? This is the new Fujifilm 33 f1.4. It's good too. Look at that. Look at that background blur. Oh yeah. So good. I don't have an ND filter for it though. I'm mad. I bought all these ND filters and then you get a new lens and it's like, that's the one size you don't have. Great. Now I gotta buy another one. Here goes the before and after. You see the white balance difference there? White balance makes a big difference in your photos. Again, people are, oh, I tried the preset and I didn't like it. You gotta edit the photo. The preset is just the color grade and the color, like it's the colors. You still have to edit. Question for you, usually manually focusing? I am not. I use autofocus, but I don't use continuous autofocus. Unless it's like a shot like this where the couple's walking towards me or something. Here's a great shot. Again, I would have got more of the dress. Like all this dead space, I would have brought this over a little bit more. Even if you didn't get the full dress, like I would have centered them up and had more of this coming out. But see, here's another example, y'all. These are wedding photographers. They know what they're doing. F4. Why? Because may as well get it in focus. Also, it's 24 mil. You're not going to get blurry background on a 24 millimeter, so may as well stop down. Yeah, it's a 24 f1.8, and they stopped all the way down to 4. They ain't had to do that. They could have shot it wide open. But again, at 24 mil, you're not getting a blurry background, so. That's my shot. Yeah! It looks good too. Bro, you gotta get step up rings. Yeah, yeah. This is the money shot. Yeah, this is a great shot. White balance is hard because of that that lens flare. This is one of those. If it were my own wedding, I would probably black and white this. Cause yeah, that flare just. Yep, it's black and white, y'all. There it is. I did it. I'm sorry. Florida in the house. Hello. Photographer 101. Just black and white it. But yeah, because there's so much dead space on that side, like it makes me want to crop in. So like I was saying, I would have rather have saved more of the dress in the photo rather than focus, especially at 24 mil. Other than that, that was a gorgeous shot. Bring up the highlights, get that lens flare in there a little bit more. I had one color one, black and white on my IG for this shot. Oh, nice. What's your Instagram? We got Miami in the house. Florida's in the house. Just moved to number 32. What's up, John? Were you doing a live edit video for your Brooklyn wedding? No, because I finished it already because I used the imaging AI and it was like, bloop, it's done. And I was like, yo, I delivered that whole wedding in 3 days because the AI editing just blew through it. It was crazy, y'all. And then all I had to do was go through and touch it up. Well, let's go check out the color edit so I can see how bad I am. David. That's my brother's name. His birthday was yesterday. David Leifer, photography. There we are. Is it like deep down in your photos? Oh, wow. YouTube support team. Uh-oh. What happened? Uh-oh, y'all. Uh-oh, y'all. It's official. It's official. Can you tell if the photographer had the camera position at waist height or 24mm for the flare? It looks like it's aimed up a little bit. I wonder what photo of mine they chose. Oh yeah, nice. Let's go, y'all. Look. Look at what I just won. Look at it, y'all. I did it. Yeah. I just made the rangefinder rising 30. Rising 30 stars. I did it. I was selected. Yay! Let's see. Do I know anyone on here? I don't think I know anyone on here. Oh. Felicia Willis. Let's see what my little page looks like. I thought the official y'all was the baby. It's like I didn't even stop. Yo, yeah. My wife just had a baby while I was hanging out streaming. Do you always use an external flash for weddings? Not always. Pretty much only during the reception. Yeah, y'all. It hands down was the hardest thing picking 30 photos. It was the hardest thing. But I think going through my portfolio and really honing down on like 30 photos that I thought were like my best work really made me for once look at my photos and be like, you know what? I'm actually a pretty good photographer. Because most of the time I don't like my photos. Like, I'm just being honest. I have a hard time even considering myself a good photographer. This is my money shot. This is what I was talking about earlier with the Wide Shot Wednesday. You see how they're holding hands on the same side so he's not crossing over his body? Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that I was chosen for this. Honestly, like really. Actually, let's see. Did WPPI, did they post anything on Instagram? Doesn't look like it. Wonder if they're still. Rangefinder mag. Congrats, I've adopted some of your techniques in my process. Awesome. That imposter, yeah, it's real. I'm so picky about my photo. I'm always just kind of like, my photos are okay, I guess. You know, like they're whatever. But again, my wife could be going into labor, so let's keep going. Nice shot. The only thing is the composition here. Like, we don't need all this floor space. I think it would have been better if we would have seen a little bit more of them. Other than that, though, I do like the shot. Also, it's kind of... I don't like the Dutch tilt, but... Again, if you all have watched me enough, you know I have a pet peeve against Dutch tilt. A huge pet peeve against Dutch tilt. Okay. Uh-oh. The internet, my stream. We are our own worst critics. It's true. Oh, do I have stuff open that I could like close? That will probably help. Got too much open. So one tip for the natural fills preset is if you're using Flash and it looks like it sucks the life out of your people, turn your highlights up. Because what's happening is the highlights being all the way down is kind of sucking the light out of the highlights. And if it's Flash, that's where a lot of the lights are coming from. Oh no! So just bring the highlights up a little bit so you don't take the life out of the Flash. This shot probably would look dope in black and white just because of the contrast. Oh wait, okay, it's back. I don't know what the issue is. Wow. Bad habit. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. The M1 Max is like freaking out. I don't know if my streaming settings are like... Maybe I'm using the wrong encoder. Hold on. The whole stream's freaking out. I had it set to the software encoder, so I switched it to hardware. And I'm hoping, because it's the M1 Max and it's supposed to be beastie, was this 2 photos by the same person? Hold on. Oh no, okay. Whatever you're doing, it's working. Yeah, I don't know what the issue is. All right, let's continue. Hi John, I was distracted dealing with the wrong people, but I'm back. Your videos are helping me get back on track. Awesome. That's good to hear. Uh-oh, it's a JPEG. I'm sorry. Sorry, y'all. No JPEGs. I'm about halfway through. Y'all want to do some drawings? You want to y'all want to do one of the drawings? Number 34 is yours. Oh, we're almost there. We can start out with the big drawing and then we'll do the other 2. Maybe we'll wait here. Let's get through a couple more photos and we'll do the first drawing. Neff, good old Nikon. Did you see how the preset saved the sky? Look at that. Boom. Yeah, let's get our corrections in there. 27 is mine. Is this 27? Oh no, we're 19. And so again, I don't like if you just raise the shadows, you see how it pulls it out of the background? I don't like that. So I'm gonna drop the shadows down. I'm gonna raise the exposure a little bit, and then we're gonna do some selected edits. So we're gonna select our subjects, and we're going to raise the shadows on them alone just a bit, so it's not too much. I'm also, let's go ahead and just select the sky. I tend to not do that, but because it's easy, the stream bitrate is lower than recommended. Bring these highlights, bring the exposure just a tad. Again, I want it to feel natural, so sometimes too I like to pull it lower than I want it, and then I'll go back and raise the exposure on the whole picture. White balance feels overall pretty good. Where can we submit for the drawing? The drawing, it was like a couple of weeks already, so the submissions are all closed. I had to switch over to my photography channel, but I can't comment. My Instagram name is, I just tagged you in the lens flare shot. Oh, nice. So there's our before and after. Maybe a little too hot. Maybe magenta a tad. But yeah, just like slight adjustments for selective edits are always good. You don't want to do anything drastic. So that's that was a spoon, normal spoon, great shot. I love how they're looking off to the side too, great shot. Here's a nice wedding shot, good expressions. Overall pretty good. Yeah, this also might be another selective edit just because they're backlit. Like I could just raise it like this, but that's that like super bright and airy where it's like a little too much. Y'all, I can't get over how good this selective edit is. Thank you for the good information. I am new to the wedding industry. Got 4 weddings this season and decided to jump from Sony to XD3. Trying to get used to the new process for the RAWs. Yeah, it's a little different, but it's not too bad. So I'm gonna raise the shadows on them since they're backlit. Just a tad. And then I'll go back and I am gonna raise the exposure overall. But again, I don't have to do it as much because I've already done it. So it just helps them pop out a little bit more. The selective editing changed again. Yeah, I tend to not do selective edits a lot, but I might start doing it more often now because it's so easy. Yeah, it's like so easy to do selective edits right now. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. I used to not do it because it'd be like, oh, here we go. Let's do selective edits. Here goes another wide shot Wednesday. Again, for critique, at least if you're trying to do it the way that I do it, generally this arm length needs to be much longer. That's the only thing in this shot. Other than that, it's great. I love how you shot up into the sky like that. I want that line to be straighter. I don't know why Lightroom thought that was straight. Everything is so green. Preset available for Capture One yet? Not yet, but I really want to get it out this month. I really need to get it out this month. Hold on, let me fix my my bit rate real quick. All right. I think that should have fixed it. Here's Lewis. I think you shared some photos from this wedding before. I feel like I remember this couple. Either that or I'm crazy. Freezing it, yeah. I had to fix my bit rate. It looks like using the hardware encoder was the better choice. I was using the software one before. Slowly taking your advice for focus at home. Thanks for that. Awesome. This is what, XT3? Yeah, the Fujifilm, especially the XT3, tends to lean on the magenta side, which is why I think I like magenta so much. The photos tend to be very magenta. We're gonna raise the shadows because they're backlit, and just a little tiny pop of exposure. This was clean. Yeah, ISO 400, 50 f2. Wow, shot at f4, but this is another great example, y'all. No, sir, not with you on live. Oh, cool. Another great example of wedding photographers knowing what they're doing. Shot this at f4. Why? Because there was enough light, and again, a nice sharp photo of the couple matters more than having super blown out background. Which this is the type of shot which you could have blown out the background, but again, it doesn't matter as much. It doesn't, especially in wedding photography. Great shot. Beautiful shot. I like the little hand in pocket. That's great. Good stuff. Here's a nice walking shot. Good maternity walking shot. What camera is this? XT2. I knew it. I don't know how. I was like, this feels like an XT2 file. Okay, I think I had my settings set up the wrong way before. Let's see if the M1 Max does better now with streaming, since I'm using... Now that I have it set to hardware, I guess technically that means it should be using the actual graphics card. And supposedly the M1 Max has a super beastie graphics card, so... 23 is mine. Thanks for editing. Yeah, no problem. Hey John, I'm piecing together a kit for events. Do you think the 1814 could replace the need for the 16 and the 23? Yeah, it definitely could. I've never used it, but if I was gonna do anything like that, I would definitely do just the 18 alone. It gives you enough space for like the wideness, but also it's like not too wide to take portraits on. So yeah, I would definitely say that 18 is probably a good middle ground. This shot is like so green, but I'm trying not to be like magenta, magenta man. Oops. 28mm equivalents are perfect. Yeah. What's your take on pricing on the website? I'm a fan of it, but again, so pricing on the website is it's a middle ground, right? You have to really know why you're doing it. So if you're putting like your starting price or your full price on the website, half the reason is because you're trying to get rid of price shopping people. You know, you just want the people who want to work with you and are not going to be like, what's your pricing? This is a gorgeous shot. 16 f1 point. Yeah. God, the 16 1.4 is so good. Audio is very out of sync. Oh no. I don't think I can do anything about that. It was fine before, so I don't know what happened. Yeah, I think I need to upgrade to the 16 1.4. The 2.8 is okay and all, but the 1.4 is so sharp. But yeah, so putting your pricing on your website helps get rid of price shoppers. But the downside is it can change your conversation from value to only price. And that's something that you don't necessarily want to do. Couples need to understand the value of what they're getting more so than just what it is and what it does. Yeah, warm this up and bring out that sky. Let's do some selective edits. Select the sky. Boom, do it. There it is. Uh-oh, did it select them too? I can't tell. Yeah, make it crazy. I don't, that's too much. We can plop that saturation up a little bit though. Make that thing pop. Again, I tend to not edit like this, but since the selective edits makes it easier, like, may as well put a little bit of effort into it. There's that before and after. But yeah, so that's the thing with putting your price on the site. It really depends on what you want. If you don't put your price on the site, you may get more inquiries, but it may be people just being like, what's the price? Whereas if you put your starting price, then you might get less inquiries, but you'll get less of people being like, what's your price? So it really depends. If wide means no blurry background, why not just go with the F16 or yeah, 16, 2.8? Oh, true. For wedding photography, at the end of the night, that 1.4 comes in for a wide lens. That's the biggest thing there. But you can even see, again, they get it. They stop down to 2.8. And it's sharp. That lens is sharp. So good. Great shot. Oh, here's another wide shot Wednesday. So this arm length is almost too long. They also, I think the reason why this feels long is because I can't see their legs. And mainly, it's not that I can't see them, but there's no like walk. You have to see that like walking leg bit. You know what I mean? So it doesn't look like they're really moving. It almost looks like he's like trying to pull her because he's not walking. So that's the only critique I have for this shot particularly. Let's go ahead and hit this with auto. They're backlit, so we'll pull the shadows, expose a tad. Ooh, is this a tilt shift? What lens is this? What is this? (55 f1.8 ZA? What does that mean? Sony FE 55 millimeter 1.8 ZA. What is that? No, it's just a lens? That's crazy looking. Music is always a vibe. Yeah, I have to. If my vibe ain't right, I can't do it. I just like having it for the sake of transparency. It feels more right for my clients having that information. Yeah, exactly. And it really is just a choice per photographer. I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's really more based off of your business and how you want to conduct it. Could have been freelance. True. I am horrible at freelancing. I wish I could do it. Yeah, that looks great, actually. I love that. It's like, it looks like a tilt shift. Hi, John. I love your work and content. How do you price your wedding shoots and mini shoots? It's kind of a long process. I'm not really going to go into like the whole thing, but ZA's the Zeiss. Oh, that's probably half of why it looks like this. Looks crazy. The biggest thing with pricing though is just remember, like, you don't necessarily have to justify your price to anybody. You know, you can make your price what you want to, but it just needs to be based off of realistic factors like your actual experience and stuff like that. Don't just go around crazily setting prices just because you want to get paid more. You have to be realistic about what it is you're actually offering your couples. Here's our before and after. And see, like I was saying again, the biggest thing that makes it is not the preset, it's the white balance with the preset. You can't just be like, here's the preset, great. That's a great shot, I like it. Yeah, again, if there was some more leg movement, this would be super epic, so it doesn't look like they're just kind of standing there. She has a little bit, but I would have loved to see him in the middle of a step. You may have answered this already, but where did you get the 3314 from? Can't find out. So here's a hot tip, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all the secret. Ready? Here's the secret. Moment lenses. Moment. They sell Fujifilm gear, and I don't think everyone gets that yet. So everyone be ordering from like Adorama and B&H and all these people. Go to Moment lenses. That's where I got it from. That's where I also got my my 81.7. Let me drop the link for y'all. That's the secret. I don't think there's that many people on their site buying Fujifilm gear, especially not the expensive stuff. There's no way. That's like the professional stuff. No one's buying that. So like right now I'm kind of mad because I pre-ordered the 2314, the new one from B&H, and it's back ordered. Go figure. Moment doesn't have it on their site though, because if so I would have switched. But yeah, that's how I got it, because they probably have stock and like barely anyone's buying it. You gotta be crafty about where you get your stuff from. Beautiful shot. Again, my only critique is I don't like Dutch tilt, but and see this photo, because it's so tight, we can't really straighten it. So it is what it is. The white balance is so good though. Canon white balance is so good. Oh, there's no, okay. So you see, I didn't have to do anything to this shot. And so that's half of the natural fills preset, is if your shot is good and the white balance is good, you shouldn't really have to do much to the photo. I ended up getting mine from B&H just a few days ago. Oh, wow. Moment is great. I learned recently they have everything. Yeah, if you shoot Fuji, Moment has a lot of stuff. They also sell film stuff on there. But to John Branch's point, they had it in stock on Black Friday. Yeah. Moment is out of stock. Oh, dang. But yeah, I was able to get mine fairly early, mainly by going through them. I didn't see the 23 1.4 on there though, so. Beautiful shot. Love the hand placement. Also, we got the bride on the right side here, so you can see the ring hand. That's always important. Like when you do your couple, do them like that. Groom on the left, bride on the right. Presets are fire. Used the presets for my first job and made it so easy. Awesome. What is your favorite lens of all time? Oh my goodness. That's hard to say. I don't know if I can answer that. Okay, I think we're about halfway. Yeah, let's go ahead and draw. Let's draw for the 100, the X100V. We'll do the grand prize winner. What? I get so much email, so much spam email. It's so annoying. Did you edit any Sony APS-C RAW files? Want to see how your presets will do? I don't know if I have, but again, you can always send me a RAW at some point. But yeah, let me go ahead and draw for this. Draw for our grand prize winner. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Oh, is it gonna draw all three at the same time? Boom. Oh no, okay. Winners to draw. 3. Auto prize allocation. Oh, okay, can I do one at a time? Allow repeat winners? No. So I'm gonna draw one for the Fuji X100V. I think I'm doing this right. Here we go. All right, so I have Joaquin, if I can say that correct. I mess up everyone's name. Joaquin Nolasco. Nolasco. I'm so sorry. I'm the worst with names. Let's double check. I don't know if I have his Instagram. Hey, Will's in the house. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Let's see if they're on Instagram. Let's see. I don't know who this is. I don't know where they're So first off, let's check the rules. Let's see if they submitted a photo. I'm hoping the name is on the photo. What's the best way to do this? I'm not seeing a photo. He's on my story. I like don't even know. I just be sharing people's stories and don't even know who it is. Is he? I don't know who this winner is. I should have taken everyone's Instagram names. Great job. I don't know who anyone is. Okay, well, we'll sit on that for a moment until I figure out who this is. So I can figure out if they're actually a qualified winner or not. Yeah, I don't know who this is. How did it put me back at the first photo? This is gorgeous too. Great shot. Trying to figure out who this is. Because none of these Instagram accounts look like photographers. I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know. This grand prize might be a disqualified person. Because all of y'all followed the rules. Y'all got your name. Yeah, like if it was under his name, it should have been in here somewhere. Oh no, never mind. It's not sorted by that. I don't remember seeing a photo. Okay, let's keep going. Ugh. so good. Didn't even have to touch that photo. Again, if it looks good in camera, if anything, like warm it up a little bit. Danny Garcia, you don't see your photo? If it was a JPEG, it got deleted. Because per the rules, it was all RAW files. All right. It was raw. Maybe we'll run into it. I gotta figure out who this is. Cause I'm not seeing an Instagram. I'm not seeing a photo. Like, I don't know who this person is. Hey John, I didn't see my photo. It was raw and on the XT3. Did I get it? I mean, if you submit it and it made it in, it should be in there. I just downloaded it from the thing. 67 is mine. You said couple or people doing one of the top 10 poses. That's correct. I don't know why I can't figure out who this is. Like, I literally am seeing no information. Yeah. The worst internet slide. I am. I'm not a detective. I gotta figure out who it is so I can see if they're eligible for the win. Here we go, some white balance. Warm it up. Much better. They're backlit, so we're going to subject select. Yeah, same, got it on time. Got it in on time and raw. The photo's not in there? None of the photos are there? Hold on. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of photos. It was like 75 photos or something. So I'm pulling the shadows up on them just a little bit to make them pop out some. Nothing to be too drastic. There's our before and after. Okay, let me figure out what was happening. Are y'all just not seeing your photos, or are they literally not there? Here goes the bottom half of the photos. Cause yeah, they should be there. I downloaded it from Dropbox. Actually, where's my Finder at? And there were only a couple of JPEGs. These are all, here's Millie. Oh yeah, yours is a JPEG. Gorgeous shot though. I would have brought this arm up somewhere or put it in his pocket. Actually, let me see if... Oh yeah, here's his... Oh, it's a JPEG. And it's tiny. Great shot though. Yeah, we'll have to redraw. That's what happened. That's why I couldn't find it. That makes sense. Petition for resubmission. John, I see you stayed with Adobe Colors when editing. Will you ever apply any film simulation profiles? No, because they're not the same. They're not the actual Fujifilm film simulations. Has your camera settings on your X-T3 changed since your last video on camera settings? Not really, but I that video is old, so I'd have to go look at it. So I'm not sure. Should I invest in Fujifilm X-T200 from shop or X-T3 secondhand? I'd say X-T3. I'm not familiar with the 200, but I would definitely say the X-T3. Yeah, Millie, it's in here. It's a JPEG though. This is it here. But yeah, it's a JPEG. How do I get my first wedding? That's one of the big questions. It's a lot, but really it's presentation overall. You have to have a good website. You have to have a decent portfolio. Like, there's a lot of parts to it. Yeah, I'm not sure how you sent it, but this is a JPEG. Did you export it from like Lightroom or something? So the only feedback I have for this photo is it's a little too tight. I'd like it to be just a tad bit wider, but other than that, that's a great shot. This is your spoon shot. I'm gonna redraw this, I'm gonna redraw the winner. Let's see. So this time we have Trent. Now I'm gonna double check. Is there a photo here? Oh yeah, yeah. If you export the photo at all, it's gonna turn it into a JPEG. I'm not seeing a photo for Trent. Let's look him up. Oh no, Millie, I'm so sorry. Who are these people winning the thing? No, it's a different Trent. But see, this is the main reason that we were a little strict with the giveaway, because you know, you do a giveaway on YouTube and all kinds of randos come out of nowhere like, you're doing a giveaway? They don't even watch you and stuff. I'm pretty sure the directions were not followed. Hi from Germany, how can I send a photo? We're not taking photo submissions right now. These were photos put in for a giveaway. So no submissions right now. I'm about to redraw again. Yep, time to redraw. One of these days we'll find a winner. Okay, hold on. Before I even say the person's name, now I gotta go look. Okay, I think we might have a winner for once. We might have a real winner. Trying to get my hands on a Fujifilm. Yeah, so yeah, this was the so that's who we drew. Brad here. Brad Woolgar. That's their photo. And yeah, so that's the X100V winner. And I'll have to get in touch with them. That's the thing too. If I can't get in touch with these people and they don't accept the thing, then I still have to redraw. Oh, Brad's in the house. Yeah. Yeah, I can't show the drawing because I didn't want your email all on the internet for everybody to see. But yeah. Yeah. We're gonna keep editing and then I'm gonna do the drawing. The next one's for the flat lay. The flat lay mat. Where were we at? Here? This is another backlit situation where I don't want to like jump the exposure up too high. I think there we go. Brad submitted a Canon and will hopefully be submitting a Fuji photo in the next video. Yeah, exactly. I'm having trouble choosing my aperture at some shoots. That's why I love when YouTubers add these settings and images so I can't get a feel for it. Any tips on choosing? So see, that's what I was talking about before, and this is why I don't share settings. Is this the focus is just missed? So obviously y'all know what happens to this is it gets black and white immediately. But yeah, as far as settings, there is no right aperture. There is none. Again, when it comes to settings, it's about understanding what the setting does. And I think that's missed a lot when people talk about settings and the exposure triangle. No one talks about what it does. They're just like, oh yeah, set your, or I mean, people talk about what it does, but I don't know, I feel like people don't make it just like stupid proof, you know, like very baseline. So again, if we're talking about aperture, your aperture, if it's higher, lets in less light, but it makes your photo sharper. So it's all a situational thing. There's no right aperture. It's all situational. So I know if I need a super sharp photo that I turn my aperture up. However, I understand that I lose light by doing that. So it comes down to what your situation is and why you need that attribute. And that's all there is to it. Unfortunately, I can't really give an answer for like, this is the right, you know, aperture, because there isn't a right aperture. It just depends on the situation. It depends on the lens. It depends on what you want to get out of the photo. And that's what it comes down to with understanding settings. Because again, if I sit here and tell you like, oh, f2 is always great, that also depends on your ISO and your shutter speed. That changes also what happens for your exposure. So it's not just the aperture alone and what's the perfect aperture. But basically, a general rule of thumb is stop down a little bit if you want the photo to be in focus, especially if you're shooting on full frame and with a lens that is super fast. So if your lens goes down to f1, don't shoot it at f1 all the time because you're probably going to miss the focus. Shoot it at f1.4, shoot it at f2. But there is no right aperture. It's all based off of the current moment in the photo. So yeah, for me, this photo wouldn't be savable at all. I can black and white it, and it does give it like a cute kind of vintage feel, but the focus is like totally just off. Yes, learn camera technique, don't copy. And if it comes naturally and you can use it creatively. But yeah, there's no right setting. That's why I get that question all the time, especially on my videos. They're like, oh, could you show the settings? I don't believe that settings help people. Honestly, half the time, especially if you don't understand what the settings are and why, I personally feel like they actually hurt photographers more than they help. Now, if you understand it and you understand settings and you want to just kind of see and be like, oh, maybe this is why they chose it. Because that's the thing. Settings can always be interpreted too. Like there's no way you would ever know why. You know, like I can look at this photo and be like, why were they at ISO 1600? It's pretty bright outside. There was no point to that. You know, the shutter speed's at 1,000. 10,000? 1,000. You know what I mean? Like they could have brought the shutter speed way down to 300, 350. And then because of that, dropped the ISO way down. F4 is fine. You know, they probably wanted it to be sharp. But do you see what I'm saying? Like I can't look at the settings and know why. So me showing you my settings isn't going to help you, especially if you don't understand why. All that does is make people think that, oh, that's what I have to do to get the photo, is set it to F what. No, that's not how it works. Lighting is always different. The situation's always different. The lens and the camera is always different. There are no perfect settings, so I don't show the settings. I don't think they help. Now, when I do a course, I'm going to show my settings. But for that, I'm going to be explaining what and why I'm doing it. And then also show the settings. So I'm going to give the whole thing. And my full wedding day videos I have now, I'm not really explaining every aspect of everything. I'm just kind of like, this is what I'm thinking generally. This is what I'm doing generally. I'm not like, well, because this room is dark and the window's here and da 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 da, so I'm going to set it like la 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 la. Like, I'm not doing that. So at the end of the day, the settings, they're not going to help. So yeah, that's my rant on settings. I don't think they help people. I think they deter photographers to thinking that you can just say, hey, set it like this and then get the photo. And that's not photography. The focus is off. So I think the focus for this was just missed, because at f4, that should have been sharp. Also though, at 1600 on a Fuji camera, like you're gonna get muddy. But yeah, you can see it. It's like back focused. It's a great shot though. Beautiful couple. How do you cull photos, or do you send them all to the clients to choose from? I cull it myself. I usually just pick what I think are the best shots. I've been using Narrative Select for all of my culling recently. This is a great shot too. Make sure the camera profile is in there. Hey John, I shoot Fuji, but I pre-order the Sony A7 IV. Does it make me a traitor? Yes, no. You know, shoot whatever you like. It doesn't matter. This is a gorgeous shot too. Here's the before and after. I had to pull the exposure. It's a little overexposed. Again too, when you're editing, think of all the settings. They're like a cohesive thing. So you see I'm pulling the exposure back, but then I'm lifting the shadows to keep them still kind of bright in there. But see, like these settings make more sense. It was super bright, so they're at ISO 100, you know, 400 of a second. They could have stopped down a little bit more and not had the photo be as blown out and had it be a little bit sharper. But again, there's no perfect anything. The shot's good. It's a gorgeous shot. You have any thoughts on the new DDR5 for your content creating? No, I haven't really looked into any of that at all as far as computer parts and things are concerned. Here's a great shot. Yeah, this is another case. This is why I put hands in pockets. Do you see, like, it just seems like he's just kind of like, here I am standing here, and here are my hands. Here they are. Here I am. Here we are today. That's why I tend to put the hands in the pockets, at least. It doesn't get that feel of just like, okay, here we go. So for this, they're backlit, so we're definitely going to be doing selective edits. Had to step out for training. Did anything get announced? Yes, we announced the X100V winner. It was not you. No, I'm sorry, Jesse. It was Brad. Brad was in the house. He was actually in the stream too, which was cool. So we're warming this up, trying to get the white balance feeling good, and then now we're gonna do a selective edit. Yeah, I never win drawings either. I've never in my life won a drawing for anything. I like never sign up for them because I'm like, I'm never gonna win. I never do win, and when I do sign up for it, I'm just like, yeah. So pull up the shadows a bit, and then we can expose more. Then I can drop the shadows of the whole photo because since their shadows have been pulled up some. I could save the sky some, but the sky looked like it was totally blown out. I don't think the sky is savable in this one. And again, I usually don't care if the sky is savable. Yeah, also there's nothing happening in the sky, so there's no point in being like, oh, let me save the sky. It's a clear sky, nothing's happening. There's nothing to see. Here's our before and after. I keep cropping in on it. I feel like because there's not much going on for this shot and it's just like a portrait of them together, I would have shot this a little bit closer. Because we're not gaining much from it being wide like that. Sign up for things just to pad the pool, right though? The only time I've ever won something, I had to like physically do it. When I was in college and the Nintendo 3DS was new, I won a Smash Brothers Melee little tournament thing, and I got a free 3DS. But like, you know, like I had to win it. You know, like I fought other people for it. So that's the only time I've ever won anything. This is off-camera flash. Warm it up a bit. Here's our before and after of that. Hey, I'm upgrading from Nikon to the Z6. I already have a 50-1.8 and an 18-140. Can I use them as the new, with the new body, or replace with a mirrorless compatible lens? Yes. You just have to have an adapter. You can use anything with anything, really. It's just if you think the lenses work for you. This is a great shot here. Warm it up a tad. That's a little too much. Smash main, it's usually, well, so I haven't played the new Smash in a while. But the newest Smash, I main Kirby. In Melee, I used to main young Link, and then I went to Falco. What version of Lightroom? It's whatever the newest version of Lightroom CC is. So this is just distracting me for whatever reason. Just get rid of that. I tend to not be extra about that stuff, but it's like too much. Are you editing on the M1 Pro or Max, or this? Yeah, this is the M1 Max. And the stream is actually going well now that I'm using the hardware. I was using software before and it was freaking out because it couldn't edit and also software stream. But now that I'm using the hardware, it's been flawless so far. Here's our before and after. What buttons are you pressing on your keyboard? So generally what I do when I'm editing is I hover when you hover your mouse over something, it allows you to move the slider by like 10. You see it going up, or like by ones. And I'm just using the up and down arrow on the keyboard. So nothing crazy. Hey, that's my photo, enjoying the stream. Yeah, great photo. Here's our before and after. Oh, I didn't straighten it. Ice climbers wobble. When you get caught in a wobble and your whole life passes over your eyes and you're just like, what have I done? I'm super late, but I loved your edit of my photo. Awesome. Let me here's a quick BRB. Hello, I have returned. 35 f2. 35 f2 so good. It's so small too. I love those f2 lenses. Here's a nice walking shot. Expressions are nice. See, there's the hand in pocket. So now there's not an awkward hand. Fairly affordable on the used market. Yeah. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Everyone always asks me why I use the f2 lenses, and it's like because they're priced well. They're like extremely awesome cameras or lenses, and they're super cheap for the quality you're getting out of it. Yeah, this was a clean photo. The preset just kind of was like bloop. Again, when the photo is good, the preset just kind of lays on it and it works. Do you use a mini stream deck? Oh, so I have my setup. There's a couple of things going on. So I have a stream deck, not the mini. I have just the normal size. So I have that. I have the Camlink 4K, but I recently got the Atomos X-Cast, which I need to go ahead and do a video on it. I don't know if y'all can, I don't think I can raise it up. This is the X-Cast. So it uses the Atomos Ninja, and it connects to that, and it's like a streaming thing. But the cool thing is it's multi-camera. So if I had another camera set up, I could do multiple views and I could switch. So like right now, if I switch to something else, that's why it's black, because I'm using the switcher. So yeah, I want to start setting up like a multicam or something. But the X-Cast is pretty cool for what I've used it for so far. Really, it's just an extra chain in the loop for like no reason, but it's cool. Oh, this is a cute shot too. The expressions are great. That's great expression right there. That's what you want. ISO 252, so the photo's pretty clean. Again, I tend to center my crops mainly just because for me, like if the couple's the focus, I don't think there's anything wrong with a center focus. Everyone's always like, oh, center focus, it's so boring. Okay, I guess I take boring photos. Like, we're probably gonna adjust for them. Yeah, I know my keyboard's probably mad loud, isn't it? I'm like, click, 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 editing photos. Yeah, I don't want to pull up the shadows too much, so I feel like it's not straight. There we go. Oh, nice. I'll be looking out for the stream setup video. Oh, yeah. I see. I need to do more of that type of stuff. Like, this is what I use and things like that. Because I have a whole setup, you know, like I have a whole studio for stuff. It's not really a studio, but it's just a big room, you know. Oh, it missed his hand, though. Can I can add to it. That was pretty good, though. Is my... Oh, yeah, the auto mask is not turned on. I was like, why is it... Oh! Okay. I thought it lost the... The fact that it got everything, though, except for his hand, it's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to raise the shadows on them a bit. Just a bit. And then we'll bring everything up in the rest of the photo so they don't look... It doesn't look like I did an adjustment on just them. That's the thing you want to... The biggest thing when you're adding adjustments like that is you want to make sure it doesn't just look like, yeah, I added the adjustment only on them, and then it just looks so obvious. It just looks bad. Because see, now that I have shadows up on them, I can drop shadows overall. And I can always come back and raise it a little bit more if I need to. But the thing is, you don't want it to look crazy obvious. If anything, you just want it to look like there was maybe like a fill reflector or something like that. Here's our before and after. I appreciate you editing my beach image. Wedding pose video inspired me. Love your feels preset. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a great shot. That was the shot I just did, right? Who was that? Karen? Yeah. It was a beautiful shot. It looks great. Yeah, expressions were good too. Great shot. This lens is crazy. Some of these lenses, man. Because it looks like this was shot in Kelvin. So we're gonna be, probably auto's gonna cool it down, yeah. And then that was too much. I'm gonna warm it up just a bit, and this is where it feels good right there. That natural feel. Are you a reflector type of guy? I'm not really. I'm like 1000% natural light, like all the way natural light. Now reflectors, there are definitely times when it's needed. And again, I don't try and act like, haha, who needs flashes? And that's a bad attitude to have as well. I just like to work with natural light and make sure I understand how to use it rather than shaping light, which is another part of everything. You know, there's nothing wrong with shaping light, but oh God, this is gonna be white balance. This, oh no. Let's see what auto white balance wants to do. Oh, it did, wow. Okay. Okay, auto white balance. It did it. Pull back those magentas because it's the camera was trying to do too much. And then yeah, so again, this photo had a lot of direct flash. And you see how you can tell that the highlights have been totally sucked out of the photo. So I'm gonna bring that up a little bit. Drop the shadows. Whenever I have a photo that's shot with flash like this, where you can clearly tell that the subject's being lit up by the flash, this is especially at receptions, then I always drop my shadows a bit because the background is pretty much just dark anyway. Warm it up a tad. Yeah. And there's our before and after. Yeah, the camera had no idea what was happening. It was like, oh God. See, these are the situations where you shoot Kelvin. If it looks like this in your camera, shoot in Kelvin. So I added some orange, but it's feeling a little too much. I warmed it up just a little too much, I think. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Even now the highlights are still feeling like. That's a little bit better. Are you going to edit all the pictures submitted? Yes, I am. All of them except for the JPEGs. Yeah, actually we're almost done. It's about time to draw for the second winner. I don't know if this counts. I'm gonna edit it real quick, but per the rules for the giveaway, I wanted a couple for the photos. This is a cool little kind of like shot of the reception kind of going on. It's a great way to take a photo of like when people are eating or like a speech or something without it looking horrible with people eating. Do you use a master Lightroom catalog for all photos and have similar catalog for each year? Generally, yeah. Generally, I'm doing one catalog or I'm doing like per quarter or per like month, but I generally like to just have one big catalog. Hey John, I straight up forgot to submit a photo. I'll try it next time. I've been watching for a year and these videos really help me. I have great difficulty talking sometimes and this video helps. Awesome, I'm glad I could be of help. Great forehead to forehead shot. Yeah, this is a quick, easy edit. Warm it up a little bit. Looks great. There's our before and after. All right, let's go ahead and let's draw for the next person. Okay. Draw winners. We're gonna pick one person for the flat lay mat. Here we go. I'm pretty sure I saw this person's name. Yeah, so this is the photo. We haven't edited it yet. It's actually coming up soon. But Javier Morales is the second winner for the flat lay mat. For that, we're gonna be getting in touch with Chasing Stone, and they're gonna get you whichever color you want for your flat lay mat. Which those things are game changing, y'all. Seriously. So that's our second winner. Come back. There we go. Congrats, congrats. Let's keep editing. Nice shot. Hey, is this here in North Carolina? No, I'm shooting at a venue that has a door kind of like this. That direct sunlight though, ugh. Direct sunlight be rough sometimes. Do you use split toning? I don't. Can we still submit? Nope, so no submissions for now. Everything was kind of beforehand during like the giveaway time. Because this is so direct light, sometimes like I might actually black and white this one. Like I don't mind the way it looks. Yeah, there's the before and after. I feel like a black and white would work better. That sun was killing. Yeah, it's direct. I hate days like that too, where it's just like clear skies and the place you want to take a photo is just like blasted with sun. This shot actually works a lot for that, at least though, because they're looking away from each other, so they're not like looking into the sun and squinting and stuff. I'm actually curious what it looks like as black and white. What do y'all think? Color or black and white? I think, yeah, the color kind of takes it. Yeah, the color kind of takes it. You're in North Carolina, so am I, near Wilmington. Nice. Neighbors. Do 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 do. Why not use split toning? I don't know, it's just too much. It's too much. For me personally, I feel like it adds too many layers to editing. And it just like, I like photos to have more of a natural kind of look. When you start split toning, that's kind of like what they do in movies when they're like color grading. Like, I was just watching some stuff about the Matrix, like the older Matrix. And you know, like every time they were in the Matrix, everything was green. And every time they were outside of the Matrix, everything was very blue. So like the overall casting of everything had like a green cast to it. Split toning is like that. It starts getting too much into like too much editing area. I like my stuff to just kind of be nice and natural. I tried black and white too. Yeah, I do. I like the color better as well. Cause see, like, I have this photo here. It looks great. It's kind of natural looking. It's cool. We got the wide shot Wednesday. They looking away from each other is great. The moment I come in here and start split toning, or even that's why they call it color, it like everything starts getting weird. Like all the colors change too much. It's too much. You know, like now I'm only changing the mid-tones so I can make everything like, it's a very stylized thing for certain stuff, I would say personally. So landscape photography, it's probably hype. For portraits of people, I just don't see it. Oh goodness. Thank you for that super chat. I'm a videographer here in Greenville. Yeah. Been watching your videos for a while and recently found out you're an NC also. Yeah, maybe we can work together. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm hoping to do an actual workshop, like a physical in-person workshop here in North Carolina, which would be hype. Oh, cute. Where is this? I feel like I know where this is. I mean, there's mad places that are like that though. This is the wall bokeh. One of my go-to shots always. I always do a wall bokeh. Now, do y'all see how the colors almost changed with the exposure? And that's one thing to keep in mind. How much light there is does make a difference with how the colors look. True essence for that. Did you submit a photo? Because with a beautiful super chat like that, I'll go ahead and edit your photo right now while you're still here. Oh no. That's nowhere I've ever been. Minus next, please don't judge the white balance too harshly. I mean, again, when white balance is in camera, it's kind of whatever. Especially if it's auto white balance. Cameras lose their mind sometimes. Oh goodness, y'all. Thanks for answering my question. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. We're still over here waiting on this baby. Here's our before and after. So again, this was a clean shot. Hi, can I still submit? No, there's no more submissions right now. This was also for a giveaway, so it's like, it's not just editing photos, it was also for the giveaway. Yeah, wall bokeh shots work great, especially with columns, because it just makes everything feel so big. You know, because of the bokeh that's going on here, it's just so good. Do a workshop, I definitely yeah, I've wanted to do one for a while actually. Where's my, I have a wall bokeh shot I did with columns. I feel like with columns you almost have to. Let me see if I can find it. It was an engagement shoot. Was it this year? Wow, crazy. Are you using presets? And I would love to attend the workshop. Yes, I'm using a preset. It's my personal preset, which I do sell as well. Yeah, see? Same shot, great job. So mine has a little bit more compression because I'm using a 50 mil on crop sensor, so it's more like an 85. Also, that's why you can't see full body, whereas here we have a 50 on a full frame. So you get more of the couple. Versus mine being a little bit more of a close-up. But again, the columns with a wall bokeh shot, it just gives this like depth to the photo that's like super awesome. Yeah, that's an awesome shot. Also too, the posing's great too, because so you have hands in pockets, you have ring hand showing, and you also have cute legs. That's what I call this. Cute legs. Oh, also you have his leg up, so it gives some movement to the whole photo. So yeah, this is a great shot. I see what you mean now by don't judge the white balance. But yeah, this is another case where I would shoot in Kelvin. The moment the camera starts doing this, I immediately start shooting in Kelvin. Because the camera is just like, I don't know what to do anymore. Oh, this is Fuji? What is this? Good old XT3. Oh, with the 16, is that the 1.4? It is. 61.4 is so good, y'all. The one time, yeah, I need to upgrade. The one time I used it, the 16 2.8 is not sharp. Even at it being at 2.8, I feel like I'm always just like not happy with that lens. Like ever. Subject select. It really is though. Like I might start doing way more subject select edits. Y'all, with the super chats. Thank you for your high praise on our photo. This in itself is helpful. Hope you share. Thank you so much. I'm feeling pretty good about this edit. I don't want it to be too warm. Yeah, and you see if I go too much magenta, it's hitting a little too hard. So this is probably about where I would stop it. Look at that white balance difference. Again, white balance makes a huge difference. Nice. So see this I want to automatically just black and white. Just the whole vibe of this photo feels like it should be black and white. I feel like color won't do it justice. The only downside of obviously is you can't really see his face because just his hat in the sun, but that's what happens. Do you underexpose one stop? Not really. I try not to. Not saying I never underexpose, but I try to get a correct exposure for most shots. It's so cool. Give it a 16:9 movie crop. Let's see if we can help him out a little bit. Since his hat, I'll include the hat and see how that looks. What are we doing? First off, I need to zoom back out so I can actually see it. Yo, Streamlabs is mad late. So the reason I want to zoom out is to make sure it still looks natural. And it doesn't look like all weird. When we get into the next BTS, I filmed some. So it's more about editing, which takes forever. Y'all, again? Sadly, I wish I would have, but didn't know anything about it, honestly, next time. Oh, okay, submit what you did, announce. Wow, thank you for the supers, thank you so much. Recently purchased the Blackmagic 12K, so if you want BTS, he's like, I got that goodness. If you want that real stuff, yeah, definitely shoot me an email. That doesn't look bad. I think we can do it. Then I'll just raise the shadows a bit more. Yeah, so we did that, and now we saved his face just a little bit. So you can kind of see that there's a person under there at least. I love that your black and white preset is based on Acros. Probably the best. Yeah, Acros is so good. I actually want to export this and see what it looks like with the the grain and everything on it. Yeah, my stream is doing much better now that I am using the hardware encoder instead of the software. It was struggling before. It's like exporting and streaming like no problem. Yeah, so a kick of contrast and a bunch of extra grain. Yeah, that's a cool shot. Cool couple. Been watching your stuff for a few weeks now. Not really into wedding photography personally. Your stuff is just straight up good. Thank you so much. Do you always use Photoshop for editing? I don't. This is Lightroom. And then grain, when I'm adding the grain and sharpening, that's exposure. The program's called exposure. I'm sure that's hard for someone who doesn't know the program. I'm like, yeah, I use exposure. What do you mean, John? It's an actual program. This is a great shot. Very Christmassy. Nice chest to chest. Got ring. The only thing here, and this happens a lot, her hand is just a little too stiff. She should have just been like grabbing his arm a little bit more naturally, so that she doesn't look like she's like, here's my ring hand. Look, I'm engaged. I'm married. You know, like, hand all stiff. It looks like she placed it there like, that's the only the only thing. But sometimes catching those things and making your couples comfortable in that area is hard. It's like, that's the hard part of photography. Like the little things like that. That stuff can get missed all the time. Let's see if we can auto white balance. This is one of those challenging white balance. Also 4000 ISO. But see, 4000 ISO makes more sense here because it looks like it was pretty dark. So, like in this case, there should have been a flash or something. This is generally how I like to edit something where like it has all that ugly tungsten light everywhere. I just cool it way down. But yeah, generally with it being this muddy, I would probably black and white this. Stop this down though to get more focus depth and Hey John, any recommendations on a monitor for photo editing? Should I go 4K? So for photos, I don't think it's really necessarily like needed to go 4K. Half the time photos aren't even in a 4K resolution anyway, unless you're shooting with something that's like crazy. So I think 2K, like 1440p is fine. Create virtual copy. It's black and white. The white balance was already like everywhere just because of the tungsten light and stuff. And again, it's at 4000 ISO, it's already grainy, so may as well just black and white it. Shooting a lesbian couple for their wedding next year. How do I go about this with posing and things? So that is actually not my area of expertise. However, the posing is nearly the same. It's just figuring out where you want the dominant person, but other than that, it's basically the same thing. ISO 1250. This is another, we needed a flash case. And see, with the tungsten light, I'll just pull it way back like that. The benefit of being a computer programmer when I started streaming. Can I still participate? We're not taking any submissions right now. Yeah, this would be another photo that would be black and whited. Mainly just because of the high ISO. San Antonio. Okay, we're almost at the end, so I'm gonna be drawing that last winner soon. Nice, White Shot Wednesday. This is actually super cute. Again, though, this is the reach over the body. I would have changed the hands, but I love her, like, this is like, I don't know if this, was she just walking like that? I don't know, that pose looks good. That's good, I like it. The cactus in the scene right here, this is good. Come on, Lightroom. There you go. So first I adjust the magenta based on how green the skin tones look to me. Again, it's a personal kind of eye choice. I'm heavy on magenta, and then after that I'm gonna warm it up until the skin tones feel about right. Bring that exposure up a tad, and it's a little too magenta. I just told them to walk and she did that. Yeah, that's great. This is like very natural looking too. It's cute. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do something like that while walking. I'm like having issues with the shadows. Just since the sky has so much going on, let's go ahead and get extra with the sky. Again, I tend to not care, but may as well. May as well do it. Get the extra skies. Got a call, so I missed some of the stream. Hey John, all the way from Kenya. Why don't you use the radial filter more often? I just don't. I don't like to do a lot of edits. So even what you see me doing now with all of these adjustments and the selecting adjustments, the only reason I'm doing it is because Lightroom has made it easy now with the select tool. Because if I had to paint that in myself, I wouldn't do it at all. Like, I really wouldn't. I've learned editing from a very much wedding photographer perspective. So for me, speed is everything. Speed over everything. Like, I could sit around and make a photo look perfect and stuff, but for me, that's just a waste of time because I'm a wedding photographer. I'm editing like 1,000 photos and I need to just edit them like that. So I tend to not do any of that extra stuff. That's a great edit though. Look how epic that shot looks. This is good. That's good stuff. If anything, see, if anything, what I really would do is we would select the subject. Wow, it's so good. It missed the flowers there. And so see what I would do normally, if I was painting this in myself, I would just go over the top of whatever that plant is in the foreground. Cause that little bit ain't gonna matter. It's whatever. So like we'll raise the shadows on them, right? And that way I can pull the shadows back down on the whole photo so that this cactus doesn't feel crazy. So now there's too much shadow on them. So now we need to come back down to where it feels good. But now the whole scene isn't like too much shadows missing, but they stand out. It's a little too much. There it goes. That's where it feels good. Loving these edits and images. Any joy with the capture one? It's coming soon. I need to get it out this month. At this point, like, I just have to do it. Here's the great reverse spoon. This is also one of my favorite shots. I always love zooming in on like the bride in a reverse spoon. That white balance looks good. I'm happy with that. That looks great. Love how you made them stand out more. Thank you for editing. Yeah, no problem. That was a great shot. Awesome photo. Yeah, Streamlabs is so late. Ooh, nice. So here's a like a little bit of an inversion on a spoon, but this is great. Love the location too. It's at the 50, good old 50 F1. 50 F1, so good. No, Lightroom, I don't know what you're doing. On the XT3, yeah, 50 F1, so good. Shot at F1, so good, so sharp. That's what I love about the 50 F1 too. You just shoot it at F1, you're like, ha ha. Well, you're shooting F1 wide open? Yes, I am. Ugh. Look at the preset on that. I think for once there might be too much magenta, which is rare to hear me say, but actually maybe I was wrong. Maybe the magenta was good. Maybe it was too warm that I was feeling. Let's see. Can it do it? It's gonna block out this because it's gonna think that's not him. Yeah, that's what I figured. And again, like I said, if it were me painting it, I would just paint right over it. Because half the time the adjustments I'm doing anyway, they're not even that big of a deal. So I'm just gonna pull them out a little bit with some shadow. Raise the exposure a tad. And the shadow on them taken out was a little too much. There we go. There's our before and after. You probably have answered this in a previous video, but what is your average wedding turnaround time? I have mine set at 30 days, but still feel rushed. I quote 4 to 8 weeks for my couples. I generally like to be within the 4-week range. However, 8 weeks is like safety. So like if there's a lot of life stuff going on or anything. What is ORF? Olympus? Wow. I don't think I've ever edited an Olympus photo. But look at there, it works just fine on the natural fields preset. Preset good for everybody. Everybody. I think your stream is a little delayed also. Check that the server you're streaming to. Yeah, there's usually an issue. I always have some kind of issue like that. So I wanted to warm it up a bit, but they're a little too warm to me, so I'm dropping the oranges a tad. Yeah, that was my first time editing an Olympus photo. The magenta? No, it's good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Something feels a little off to me. Here's Javier's photo. Javier was the one who won the flat lay mat. This white balance looks, yeah, it's too warm, but it was probably shot in Kelvin, and at this time of day, the camera was probably wanting everything to be too blue, so that was a good choice. This is another one of those cases where it's a little too tight for my liking. It's like cutting right at his, like, it's just too close. Uh-oh, Lightroom. Can't remember if I submitted. I'm almost done at this point, but if you did submit, it should be coming up soon. Here's our before and after. It looks like there was a flash used, maybe? Oh yeah, probably, especially at ISO 100, and it looked like it was pretty dark outside. Here's a nice motion shot. If you click reset photo, it should get bigger. Was it ever bigger? Oh, why is, what? Why was it like that? I've never seen a photo have to do that. There we go. Now all my critiques are gone. This is a great shot. Yeah, I was like, why would anyone shoot it like that? This makes more sense. This to me is black and white. Like color's just not gonna do it justice. Just the way the motion is and stuff, I don't know. Something about it just. Do you think you'd ever get to the point of outsourcing for your edits to not feel like you're drowning? Oh yeah, I outsource most of my weddings now. Also, if you haven't seen, I've been using that Imagine AI, which learns based off of your own editing style and then edits for you over AI. And it can turn around like 700 photos in 5 minutes. So yeah, that will be what I'll be doing in the future. Yeah, I turned around like a 700 to 800 photo wedding in 3 days using Imogen AI. Or Imagine AI. I don't know how to say it. Is it possible to send a photo now, or you already got many of them? Yeah, this was submissions only for the giveaway. So I'm not taking any photos right now, but if I get back on my stuff, generally what I do is one stream a month where I'll either take your photos or do critiques or different things like that. Yeah, this is a great shot. Love the motion. Awesome shot. Beautiful smile. There's that before and you see, like, I like to keep the photos looking generally the same. I don't like things to change too much. I just want like a nice, clean look to the photo. What? That's insane. Def gonna chat. Yeah, the last live stream I did, I live streamed me doing it live. And I mean, between like uploading it was crazy. Like really, it was crazy. So now I know for the future, I'll submit a photo for the next. Yeah. Yeah, definitely jump in there for the photo edits and critiques. This is JPEG. Yeah, it already has an edit on it. Here's a great chest to chest shot. Just trying to balance out the warm versus the magenta. This photo is overall pretty cool. $56, good old 5612. You can click reset for this one too, and the photo will have. Why are the photos coming in thin? I've never seen that. Oh, see, yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, this one has nothing going on. I've never seen that before, where the photos come in like already cropped in. This one's just a tight shot, and that's fine. It's like tight enough to feel like it was supposed to be tight. Here's Flame. She always submits such amazing work. Needs to be warmed up. Again, my only gripe with this photo as far as critiques is the Dutch tilt. But again, that's just me. I don't like Dutch tilt. Y'all, this subject select is crazy. I'm gonna be able to do selective edits like way more often now. Cause yeah, the problem is like I can't even straighten this either. Cause if I do, I'm gonna lose the bottom of the dress. And fixing it in Photoshop is gonna be much harder. It's not gonna just be like, oh yeah, go into Photoshop and whatever. Imagine AI is incredible. 1K pics and trial opt. John did live 705 minutes. It took 5 minutes. Yeah, it's insane. It really is. Oh, this is JPEG as well. Folks not listening to the directions. Nice, cute expressions. Great shot. Pull shadows up because they're backlit, and then I think, yeah, the magenta's a little heavy. Other than that, it looks good. Dutch tilt. Yeah, for once, I actually feel like it's too much magenta. And again, that's rare for me to say. I'm always magenta man, so. But that's because it's like a Fuji camera. It looks like Fuji cameras lean on the magenta, which works for me because I love magenta, so. Manny Ortiz got his own beauty dish. We need a JBiv product. I don't even know what the product would be if I was gonna make something directly for photography. Nice shot. This is just a nice classic chest to chest. Yeah, I don't know what I would do as far as a product. That's a good idea though, actually. Get the white balance right. think that's around where I would like it. So before and after. I think Sony did on purpose in case you don't have enough space on your sides, then you can JBiv hoodies. Get Magenta Man hoodies or something. Yeah, if I was gonna release a physical product, I would rather it be something that has to do with photography. Nice. What is this, Shanghai? Where is this? That background's dope. That's crazy. Hoodies, something with Magmod. Hey bro, please can you check out AI build and presets and share thoughts? Magenta Man. This is a great Wide Shot Wednesday. It looks like this has flash on it. It looks like it has off-camera flash. Whoa, y'all, did y'all see that difference just by putting the preset on it? So that's the preset with no edits on it. Collab with Hofast, that would be dope. I'm an affiliate, or not even, I'm an ambassador of Hofast too, so I don't know if they'd be interested in doing something like that. It may be possible, actually. Oh, image and ad, yeah, I did a whole video on it. I use it all the time. Well, not all the time, but I just started checking it out. Yeah, they look like, this looks like off-camera flash. Oh, is this a JPEG? This is a JPEG. Is this RAW? I don't know. It says .raw, but if it was raw, it wouldn't be jumping so drastically with the white balance. I don't know. This seems like a trick. PNG. Oh. Where'd you see that? Oh yeah, okay. I was like, this ain't no raw file. That's a dope shot though. Beautiful. But didn't listen to the directions. Deleted. I'd be down for a JBiv sightseer bag. Oh, that, you know what? Maybe I'll hit them up. The thing is though, like, if I was even gonna pitch something like that to them, like, and I'm not trying to act like y'all just need to buy things, but like y'all would have to show up, because I'd have to have the proof to be like, look, my viewers really want this. I talk about this thing all the time. If you let me help you design a bag that would be exactly the way I wanted it on a wedding day, that would be dope, actually. I would love to do something like that. Time for adjusting my exposure now that everything is kind of settled in. I would pay, yeah, that would be dope. In all honesty, that would be really cool. Or like, maybe like a full JBiv set of holdfast, so like the holdfast in like a specific colors. I don't know, something like that. Cute shot with the 16:1. Everybody has the 16:1.4. Y'all are over here hurting my feelings. I should have got the 1.4. What have I done? So here's another case. I don't know if this is a maternity shot, but if it's not, again, usually with the spoon, you don't want to come around the stomach. Everyone's the first thing you want to do is go around the stomach. But if it's not a maternity shot, tell them not to come around the stomach. Like everyone does it. I've seen multiple people, and as a photographer, you just have to tell them not to do that if it's not maternity. Other than that, that's cute. The expression is great. He's probably whispering in her ear or something. Very great photo. And yeah, y'all about to make me go ahead and just buy the 16:1.4. Yeah, a JBiv holdfast setup would be so hype. That would be so hype. But I'm sure that's a lot of like paperwork and stuff as far as like how the deal works with something that's branded by you like that. First photo shoot, oh, great job. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'd definitely be in for a bag, but I already used a moneymaker. Yeah, the bag would be awesome. Or like even a set of like 3 different pieces from Holdfast. Oh wait, let's look at the before and after. Cute. Great job. This is Fuji, good old 35 f2. (16:1.4) is my favorite lens, but recently realized mine is decentered. Oh no. How do we send our photos? Right now I'm not taking any submissions. We had the submission for a while, and it was it's for a giveaway as well. But there'll always be another stream. Yeah, this photo pretty much looks good where it's at. Fuji's be like that though. Like the Sightseer Romographer Special Edition in a pouch. Yeah, that would be hype. Y'all got me thinking now, like, that would be really cool actually. This might be a black and white photo. This is a good shot. The only thing that's missing here is the fact that like they're kind of turned away from the camera. And that's why I initially want to black and white it, because with them turned away from the camera in black and white, it makes it feel more of just like a mood of what's happening. Happy 100K, thank you. But it makes it feel more like a mood of what's happening rather than like, oh, nobody's looking at the camera and I can't even see anybody kind of, and I feel like everything's missed. It doesn't feel like that as much. Do you also own Sony? I feel like I remember you saying, no, I've never shot Sony ever, actually. Like, I've literally never shot it. But no, I love this shot. This is a great shot. But yeah, I think it works better in black and white just because you're getting more of like the feeling of like, here I am hanging out with like my kid or my nephew or something like that. Whereas in color, I feel like the whole photo's lost because you can't really see anything. Good old 35-1-4. I think this is our last photo. What other brand you shot before? I started on Canon. I had a Canon 6D was my first camera, and that's what I shot my first couple of weddings with. This is gonna be a, because they're backlit, but honestly, because the background is lit up so much, I might just leave it how it is. Yeah, I don't want to select too much. There's our before and after. What makes me switch to Fuji? When I switched to Fuji, I wasn't even looking for Fuji. But since using the 6D, I needed a dual card slot. And at the time, Canon was just about to drop the 6D Mark II. And I was really hoping it would be dual card slot, but it wasn't. And around that time, I had met my mentor, and he shot Fuji, and he gave it to me, and Fuji just felt right. It felt good. It also was like small. So between it being a smaller camera, a lighter camera, it just feeling good to shoot, all of those factors really made me like jump ship. Also, technically, it was cheaper than Canon, because between the f2 lenses and stuff, it was just so much cheaper. So those were kind of all my factors. All the factors of switching over to Fuji. And then, you know, there's other stuff like the color science is great. They're just nice little snappy cameras. Look at y'all submitting these photos. This stuff is good, y'all. This is beautiful. That's good stuff. What's your best lens to shoot with? I love to be on like a 35 mil, so the 23 or that new 33, but I'm still getting used to it. How much will I pay my second photographer? It depends on you, but I do anywhere between 35 to 50. I recently got robbed and they stole. Oh no, that's horrible. Yeah, these are beautiful photos, y'all. Here, let's do this last drawing. This is for the Lume Cube Mini. What's your favorite of these 9? I think personally it's a choice between the this Wide Shot Wednesday with the cactus or this wall bokeh. Those two kind of stand out the most to me. Just the overall vibe of the whole photo. This one's the third pick for me. The expressions are really good. These are great photos though. They're all awesome photos. What's the next time you're gonna edit photos? I'm not sure, but I usually put the stream up on the YouTube page. Here's our last draw. Oh, look at there. It's Jesse. You won something for once. Where's Jesse's photo? Oh, I can't see it because it's a RAF. Where's Jesse's photo? Oh yeah, there it goes. There it is. Oh, let's put our winners up there. So I remember we had this one, we had Jesse's. Which one was Javier's photo? I'm like forgetting already. Oh yeah. I'm all over the place. I'm so lost. There. Boom. There are all the photos from the winners. There they go. Beautiful shots. Great stuff. So yeah, Jesse's getting the Lume Cube Mini. We got the flat lay mat for Javier, and then Bradley got the grand prize X100V. Yeah. I wish I had sound effects. I need to get a soundboard and press it and have people screaming in the back. Yeah. Love the shots and edits. Thank you so much. Yeah, these are great photos. They all turned out really awesome. And thank you all for participating in the giveaway and just like hanging out on the channel and enjoying the stuff. Also, this was cool. So the Rising 30 just got announced. I don't know if y'all saw that. But yeah, so I'm announced as the rangefinder Rising 30, which is pretty cool. It's like a competition of like up and coming wedding photographers in the industry. My wife didn't have the baby while I was streaming, so that's good. But in that case, I am gonna have to jump off and see how everything's going and probably like help make dinner or something. Just need that C1 preset so I can share the magic with others. Yes. See padding the pool? Oh yeah. Just padding the pool. Yeah, so I'll be emailing all of you all. So keep an eye on your emails. That's how I'm gonna get the information so I can send this stuff over to you. And then Javier, I don't think he's in the stream, but for the Chasing Stone stuff, I'll have to get in contact with them because they never sent me anything because they want to send the color that you want. So we'll be doing that. But everything else I already have, so I can send it off myself. My newborn just crossed 2 months. Oh yeah! Those first weeks, man, it's such a, Can I make a short from your review of my photo? Yeah, go ahead. Do it. Do it. I'm on that Capture One preset as soon as, yeah, it's, the Fuji one is pretty much done. I just need to package it up and get it out there. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you, John, for doing this giveaway. And thank you all for hanging out too. Any new presets? I've been converting my preset to the Capture One to Capture One. I think so. That's kind of my overall plan with the preset is I want to keep transferring it to more programs. I don't think I'm ever going to make a different preset. Right now, like I really like the Natural Fields preset. It's what I use. So I'm not just selling a preset that I made to be like, here's something to sell. It's literally my preset. So I think what will make more sense is just to convert it to different actual different programs. So right now we have it for Lightroom. If y'all saw on the website, I was able to edit it or convert it so that it's for the old Lightroom too. So we got it for newer Lightroom, we got it for old Lightroom, and then we're gonna have it for Capture One. And then I'd like to do something else. There's another program that I used to use a little bit. Or yeah, like if I could get it in exposure, so you get the not just sharpening and grain, but the full Natural Fields preset in exposure. Like that's my plan, is to convert it to like every program. Not every program, but like the big programs. If possible. So that's kind of the plan. But yeah. We did it. We got through the photos. We did the giveaway. We got some amazing winners and some amazing photos. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna go check on my wife and see if she's doing okay. And y'all probably see an announcement of a new baby branch at some point on the Instagram or something. But thank you all for hanging out so much. Thank you all for believing in the channel. Again, if you have photography friends who are new to photography and want to learn something, or if you know someone who's trying to get into wedding photography, definitely send them my way. And yeah, what is it? December now. We're almost in the new year, so we'll see what the year has for us. I'll be using that Lume Cube Mini for a wedding this December. Nice. Yeah, I'll try and get the emails out to y'all as soon as possible so we can go ahead and get that stuff shipped out ASAP. But for now, I'm hopping out, and I will catch you all next time. All right, peace.